We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dark Portal, and we have a very special one for you today. Hopefully the sound isn't too scuffed here. Basically, the plan is to do a big PvP, arena PvP deep dive, and we have two very, very special guests. Like, we are extremely lucky, chat. I hope you guys are excited to learn something. Be a little scuffed thing with Crix's cam. Now let me fix that.
Yeah, Crix scuffed all the time anyway, right?
Same here, brother. But it is, it's good to be back with you guys. We'll do a quick round of intros, and we'll try to hop into it. So our guests today, you know Crix, you know me at this point. We have the infamous or the famous Requiem, also goes on Twitch by ReqTBC. How we doing tonight, brother?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Good. The pleasure is all on this side of the fence. And also we have Aziegodx. Azie, how we feeling, man?
Hey, we're all good, Kargoz. How are you, mate?
Doing just fine, man. I'm very, very excited for our episode today, and I hope we can really try to get some good stuff out there to the people. Also, it's super late where Azie's at right now. You're where you based, man?
I'm from UK, man.
UK, so it's got to be in the wee hours of the morning over there. So that's
yeah, half free right now. All for a good cause, though.
Yeah, for
gotta love the
cause,
devotion.
Sure. Absolutely, and not the first time that Rec has met Azie. You guys were mentioning Crix. This is the first time meeting these guys.
Thank you for coming, brother. Yeah, it's my first time meeting him.
First time meeting him. Gotcha. How was your week, Crix? All good.
Oh, 1 second. I think my just scuffed up.
All right. Well, we're putting them through the ringer right now. We usually just
ignore me for a second. My shit is messed up.
All good, man. We usually put the guests through, just a little bit of cringe, just to warm you up to the chat here. So we'll start with history with the game. Rec, if you could be so kind, just share with the folks your history playing WoW and sort of maybe some of your accolades too, if possible, and just kind of how we got to where we are right now.
My history or my biography?
Yes, please.
I played at the late stages of classic retail. I went into TBC. I stuck with Rogue. Did pretty well through TBC and Lich King. Got glad in rank 1 throughout then. Came all the way up till MOP. MOP, I think the last season we were the first season of MOP we were rank 1. Got glad the 2 seasons after that. And then WOD came, and I felt that the game was kind of just destroyed community-wise and PvP-wise, so that's when I cycled back to private servers when I found out about them. And I've been playing Lich King mainly up till about a year ago when Endless came out, and then I was trying really hard to get back into TBC. And then I did dabble in some Warmane TBC when that came out. But been going pretty hard the past year or two, trying to really get the feel for TBC and try to catch up to these guys like Azie.
Oh yeah, man! That's rank 1. Glad. I mean, that's insane, man. And then even more recently on the TBC private server scene, you've been playing pretty much all of them.
So in Lich King, I can pretty much multi-class. I'm comfortable on everything in Lich King. TBC, I'm trying to get to TBC like I was in Lich King. I'm doing okay on my Rogue. I've gotten a lot better on my mage over the past, I'd say, few months, thanks to watching some of the top mage streamers there, getting some stuff from them. I can play priest okay. I'm a terrible druid. 90% of the people will tell you. And then, but yeah, just working at it every day.
Oh yeah, man. So what class out of all of them seems like you're pretty proficient on a few of them here? Which one really stands out to you? It resonates with you the most?
Rogue is 100% my main. Throughout all the expansions, Rogue is definitely hands down my main. I'm just fully comfortable on my Rogue. TBC right now, I'd probably say Mage is going to be my second alt. And then I've been working a lot on my Druid. So
Gotcha.
That needs a lot of work, though.
I'm working on Druid, learning Druid as well. It's a lot of fun, though. Well, thanks for that, man. We'll try to skip through this stuff as fast as possible because there's so much to get into. Azie, my man, which maybe you could explain to people your history with the game and then your favorite class, all things considered.
Yeah, sure. So I played late vanilla, but I didn't really properly play TBC like hardcore arena until I think late Cataclysm or like Cataclysm-ish. Like I dabbled on TBC, whilst playing on retail. Like I play pretty much like I'd say like every relevant TBC like private server. I've got Glad in, without sounding like got big ego or anything, but we've got Glad in every bracket and every season so far on Endless on the main server.
Oh my god, insane.
Yeah, in season 3 we didn't actually play any games for like a month and a half, I think, but we managed to get Glad still because no one ever pushed it, so that was actually a bit of a surprise. I thought someone would try hard to really get it, but that was actually quite crazy. But yeah, I don't know, that's probably about it, man.
And is it Warrior? I noticed you play pretty much Warrior exclusively on your streams these days.
Yeah, just Warrior all the time, pretty much. Like I always wanted to perfect one class and try to get as good as I could possibly get at one class. And I dabble with a bit of Druid every now and then for a bit of fun, but Warrior is where it's at for me.
Gotcha. So I've recently started getting into the TBC community right now, and I've been really impressed by it. That it's a very tight knit group. I actually had such like a low bar for a lot of private servers in the sense that people were kind of really like savage and oftentimes mean spirited when it comes to private servers. And then I'm so shocked to see that the TBC community is tight knit and everybody knows each other, and people are pretty cool. And as I'm just asking around, who are the best players and all this, like both of your names came up nonstop. So we really have the cream of the crop here, folks. Like, and hopefully, I was making this analogy before. You wouldn't want to ask Gordon Ramsay how to make a Pop-Tart, right? So if we can somehow, ask some hard-hitting questions here to really make the most out of the time with these guests. But Crix, bro, did you fix the mic, or how you feeling?
I don't know, is it fixed? Can you hear me, baby?
Sounds great to me.
Oh, man. How are you doing, man? Oh, you good. Yo, first off, Azzy, Rec, thank you for showing up. EU Azzy, man. Laying the dick down.
Pleasure,
laying the dick down. I love it, brother. I've been watching you for a while. I've been sweating you guys, man. Thank you guys for coming. Kargoz, talk to you every day, brother. How you doing, man?
Yo, I'm absolutely chilling. I'm really excited for this one as well. And I do see both of your channels, guys. You're going to see these people blow up here come TBC. I mean, these are, it's like, I always say, Ozzy, you're going to be like the Monkey News and more when it comes to TBC. I don't know what you're you're playing no more with the pigtails and everything. But anyway, so here's the agenda for the episode, guys. We'll try to get right into the meat and potatoes of this. We got through the guest introductions. We're going to go over Ally versus Horde PvP racials, classes and specs, tier lists, skill floors, skill ceilings, 2v2 meta, 3v3 meta, map tips and tricks, movement, UI, how to set up kills, itemization philosophy, strategies to climb rank. Could be more, could be less. We could get to any, all, or none of this stuff. But like I said before, like Rec, Azzy, the floor is yours here. Like, you're going to know how to explain to the people, what's going to be valuable in TBC. For me, one of the hardest things about Arena in general is like just these massive barriers to entry in terms of how to get situated with like macros, add-ons, to know how it all works, to just get on that wavelength is such a massive barrier to entry to people. But that's something to think about as well. So
I mean, I'll start you off here with some of these things. I think that number one, you're going to see a massive increase, and you already have just throughout the board from retail to classic till now, is that the baseline of players is just so much higher. Obviously accessories and everything is just much more available to people than it is back in TBC in Lich King. I think you'll see some metas definitely change. They already have changed from the private server scene back from retail TBC. Knowledge, so the knowledge is out there, like, and you got to give it to Crix and Kargoz. They're coming up with all these new stuff that's going to be coming out here, with the release of classic TBC, that maybe they've found that there's not a lot of it on the internet right now, but I mean, even so, you can still go back and look at all the old stuff and min-max from that. There's plenty of already guides out there for things. All the knowledge is there now that we didn't have back then. Everybody kind of had to figure out on their own. So you're pretty much putting everybody on there an even playing field, coming right into TBC release, comparably back to comparing back to then. And now it's just all about what kind of player they are and what they're going to do with it.
Well said, man. And just to ask you as a simple question, to take a few steps back here, what draws you into TBC PvP? Why do you guys find it so fun? What really gets you going about it? Maybe we'll start with Ozzy.
what I love about TBC PvP is it's like the bare bones of like arena. Like it's the very first stage of arena. Like there's no like fancy demon hunter spells. Like it's like the proper fundamentals of like arena. It's how it should be in my opinion. I really like the pace of it, even though I enjoy the fast pace of Wrath and stuff. But I really do like the pace of TBC because it's so unique to all of the other expansions, and the fact that like in other I don't know, it's just the gameplay. For example, it's like you can't really Vina blind that effectively in other expansions. Like it's not really a thing. Whereas in TBC, it's like a massive play, and I just like the way like the things like just everything's just so simple, but at the same time it's really difficult at the same time. Like it's just really nice.
Yeah, well said. What about you, Crix? What really draws you into TBC PvP?
I never really got into arena ever. Like even on retail, I've been playing retail for years. I never got into arena, so it's really just my first time and it's fun. Not recently first time, you know, on this server though, on Endless. Hell fun. That's, I mean, it's just I get smacked around a lot and it's still addicting because the times you don't get smacked around, it just feels so good. Especially like, you know, running Lock Rogue or Lock Druid. If you pull a dub off, it's just hilarious. And it just wants you to, you just keep chasing it again, man. I'm not good enough like wrecking them to be winning all the time though. So.
Yeah. Well, it is.
Crix, you're just being humble, bro.
No, bro.
Well, he does have Gladiator title on his Warlock, right? So, yeah.
I know he keeps saying someone else got it for him, but you know, he's just being too kind, man.
Exactly. Well, Requiem, what about you, man? I mean, you says you're really into Wrath. You can pilot everything in Wrath, but is there anything that stands out about TBC PvP that really appeals to you?
I mean, I could say the same for TBC and Lich King. When the only way I can sum it up to is like finesse. I think TBC and Lich King have the most finesse of any of the expansions when it comes to PvP. I think that they did a good job going from the classic to TBC, adding abilities that, you know, make a lot of uniqueness for each class. Personally, I like Rogue. I think Rogue has the most finesse. I think their movement and their mobility and just the play styles can differentiate so much from every Rogue that you can kind of have your own unique personality. You know, going from Lich King to TBC, I struggled highly with like global management, cooldown management, energy management. So, you know, going from that to TBC, I mean, those play a huge factor in deciding on like who's a better player. You know, just using just those like 4 topics right there.
Well, one thing I mean, well said all around. One thing that Ozzy said that really resonates with me is that it's like the fundamentals. You know, it's not all these crazy particle effects flashing all over the place and this like super like just high tempo zipping around all over the place. It's almost a little more chess-like. It's a little slower, and you're exchanging cooldowns, and it's like clean finesse play. But at the same time, like what you said, Requiem, when I went up against you guys a couple times in the ladder, and it's like you're playing a different class, dude. It's like you're playing with triple damage. You don't even understand what's happening. Like even though you know the rogue spells look kind of simple on a baseline, you know, in the right hands, it feels like you can be so powerful. And we'll get into skill floor and skill ceiling with classes in a little bit here. I guess it's just a real general thing too. Do you think TBC PvP is balanced across the brackets? Or...
No.
Okay.
No.
Why?
So basically, like 2v2 is super unbalanced. Like there are just like certain matchups for certain combos, which are just borderline impossible. So, for example, like a disc priest and a lock against Holy Pala Warrior is virtually impossible to win. It's literally nearly impossible to win unless you like one-shot the pet from somewhere, like with the Pali's holy damage on pets, and like the Warrior does insane damage. Like there's no way you can beat Lock Druid or like DPL as Pala Warrior, and like goes for like other combos as well. There's just some stuff you just cannot beat in 2s, and it's like in 3s as well, but it's more balanced in 3s than 2s.
So there are matchups. So some people in the Twitch chat, you know, like when they're watching you, I'm probably sure you get this all the time. If you lose or something, people might say like, "Oh, you can always win. Like you always have a chance." You think you can't just go up against the bad matchup and be heavily at a disadvantage?
Yeah, you've always got like a chance, but there's just some stuff against certain combos. It's just insane, man. Like it's just virtually impossible. It's just
I see. What about you?
Like equal skill equal gear equal skill.
Oh, even equal skill. Exactly, man. It's not even like skill dependent. It's like you just lose because of the combo, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Rek? What are your thoughts on balance?
I mean, I just can kind of concur with Azzy on that. I think that, I don't really have much to add onto that. I mean, twos is pretty scripted. I mean, would you agree with that, Azzy? It's pretty, once you get to a certain point, it's just very scripted. And the only time is that you can really base, like, these weird wins off of is just, there is a lot of RNG in TBC. So, there's a lot of weird resists. There's a lot of that happens, and if you can capitalize on those, sometimes you can, like, get some wins off that. But on a scripted basis, like, there's a lot of teams that just completely counter.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. And then people don't talk a lot about fives. I've heard you talk about this on about fives, Azzy, and like you pretty much summed it up pretty well. But I don't know if you have a little one-liner of just your thoughts on fives versus twos and threes.
Yeah, sure. So, personally, in my opinion, fives it's more of like a meme bracket, more of a bracket where like you play for fun, like you have a few friends, you all queue up, you have a good time sort of thing. But like competitively, it's not like, it doesn't excite me very much, because it's just like you can see a multi-boxer playing like 4 Ellie Shaman with a Holy Pala, and he's getting like top rating, and it's like one player on all of the characters. And stuff like this, like you wouldn't be able to do that in threes, and it just feels like it's just way too like bursty, and it's just, I feel like it's not that skillful though, like compared to like twos and threes.
I see. And you can get titles on all 3 brackets too, right? In TBC.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, yeah.
I think the pro side of like fives is that, you're gonna have these people coming in that want to play Ellie Shamans and stuff like that, and they want to do well at it. And like fives, you can play some of those meme specs and get away with it and do well.
Okay. All right.
You said you still get the titles with fives?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
rip! I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can get Gladiator and all that good stuff.
Yikes!
Okay, so let's get into Ally versus Horde PvP racials. And again, feel free to take this as big brain as possible. Already, I feel like we've touched on a lot of low-hanging fruits type stuff. Is there a discussion to be had here, like even at the highest
Definitely.
levels of play? Okay, go.
Definitely. So, for example, if you're playing Warrior Druid as Alliance, you'd want to be typically Gnome, because the Gnome removes like any root, any freeze, like any movement impairing effect, it just removes it. And like typically, like a Gnome Warrior, like you're not going to have a Dispel when you're playing with a Druid, so that's just so big.
Mm-hmm.
And like one thing for classic TBC though, which you don't actually see on like private servers right now, is that there's no leeway on TBC right now. On like the private servers, but on classic TBC there might be leeway. So whereas like Tauren isn't very good on like Endless, but on classic TBC it could be so good with the leeway, like just hitting people through pillars. Because I watched a lot of like 2007, 2008 like BlizzCon finals, and the Warrior is legit hitting this guy through the pillar. So I think Gnome is probably like best for Alliance, but Tauren could possibly be best on classic TBC, whereas like Orc is best on like privates, if you see what I'm saying. So like the meta could slightly shift a little bit with Horde Warrior Druid.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it in Classic. Sony Digital on the PTR for Classic was playing Tauren, and he was just showing it how big the hitbox was.
Yep.
When Tauren, for an example.
Well, that's
Yeah,
my buddy Navica was multi-glad back in the day, all seasons on Rogue, and I was asking him, best warrior, and he actually valued the Tauren leeway racial up there with the S tier with like perception and stuff, and I thought that was so interesting. Like, whoa, it's not even a racial kind of, but it sort of is at the same time. Anyway, just to put things in perspective, so you play a ton of Gnome Warrior Resto Druid, and you're just like insane win rate. If you were to go up against an Orc, an Orc Warrior, Resto Druid, like the mirror, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, would you say that you are heavily favored because you have Escape Artist? Does the racial matter that much?
Yeah, we are quite favoured, yeah. Whoever has the racial is usually favoured, 9 times out of 10. But, like, at the same time, like, theoretically, like, the Gnome racial is better. But then, when it comes to the game, sometimes whoever gets the best RNG can win the game, regardless of racial. But, yeah, the Gnome racial is definitely better than the Horde one for Mirror.
Yeah. I think coming from a... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, man. Go ahead.
I think coming from like a rogue perspective, and I usually play like RMP and RM, I think races and TBC actually can change a lot of strats. So like for instance, if Azzy's playing Gnome and I'm playing like Priest Rogue or whatever, like might have to change some strats up. Mainly in 3s though, I would say. You know, like a dwarf priest is just like, usually you have to bait their trinket and then you have to bait their PS, and then you should be able to get a kill. But like if you're facing a dwarf RMP, you're like, oh, he kind of has 3 chances to live because he can actually stone form in desperate prayer or whatever. You know, so like that's another like, you might not kill him on that go. So sometimes you might have to change your kill target or your strats just around races.
Yeah, which is, it's insane, right? Because you would think, you know, racials are almost there just for pure flavor, and they wouldn't really affect the game that much. You know, it's something Blizzard put in just as like a kind of as like a, not a meme, but what's like some trivial little flavor nugget. But it actually really matters so much in TBC.
Yeah,
to the point,
I think you're going to see the meme is going to be a lot of human warriors from Classic. You know, I'm sure Azzy already laughs about it now. He's like, oh, all these classic warriors that are all humans and they have their Thunder Furies and they think they're going to crush it in TBC. It's like they're just going to get ruined.
Yeah, the perception is definitely not optimal.
I think people who don't practice for TBC are going to get clapped pretty bad.
Right off the rip, yeah. I mean, I think...
Right off the rip, bro. Season 1's going to be nice.
Here's a little thing, too. This is really self-serving because I've been playing a good amount of Lock as well as some Druid and stuff right now. It feels like people are heavy undead. I went into this not knowing what to expect. I went Orc Warlock to start and just really saw this undead meta of everyone running double undead DPR. That's what you were running, right? Requiem and stuff. And like, does that shift? Does that shift the thing? Like, does that make Locks weaker, man? I really feel like, especially in these really high tempo 2s matchups, there's almost no point trying to, you know, fear and stuff like that.
I think locks are extremely strong, and I think you'll see a lot of top players. They can go either on Deadlock or Orc Warlock for different reasons. And then facing other, you know, undeads. Will of Forsaken is just, you know, it's pretty much a second trinket. Because, you know, if you go into 3s, right, I'm sure Azzy will agree with me, like, the opposing team will have a fear. Like, there's like a 70% chance. Like, it's either going to have a priest or a warrior or a warlock. You know, you got RMP, RLD, RLP, warrior, warlock, you know, WLD. Pretty much like a lot of the 3s, everyone's going to have a fear. It's just going to be big. So having that will for that is pretty massive, especially if you're CCing their healer and, you know, you can't get that dispel. You can use your will and keep going on whatever you're going on. Or even a warrior fear. I mean, people don't really think about it, but it's like even if you're playing RMP and you're an Orc Rogue or whatever, your warrior fear is not getting dispelled off you. Like, that's 8 seconds, you're out of the game. And 8 seconds with a warrior with Death Wish on your healer is pretty pretty clenching. I don't know if that's the right word. Just to watch them for 8 seconds just destroy your healer, especially if they have all warlock dots. You know, it's kind of over.
Yeah,
that's a very good point.
So, I mean, do you guys, like, if you had to just freestyle a racial tier list right now, just off the top of the head, you know, is there any that you really see at the top of the food chain here, and based on your own personal experiences?
All across the board, I see undead.
Yeah, dwarf is very, very good as well. The stone form is really, really good. I think it's mainly undead. To be fair, orc is insane, really. Like I said, I think the meta might shift on classic TBC, but orc is always going to be sick. Because what's the stun resist? Is it like?
It's like 15 or 20%, isn't it?
15 plus base 5%, so it's 20. And
right. Plus you're going to see people stack the meta gems. So.
And the talents.
Like was.
Yeah, and then you've got the Blood Fury itself, which is actually so good if you can use it effectively. So, for example, if you're playing against Shadow Priest Rogue, or even better, if you're playing against RLP, which is one of the biggest counters for the combo I play in 3s, WLD, if you're actually, when you get like 5 wounds, or you see yourself get 4 wounds, and you're like taking big damage, you just use the racial early, and basically at the end of the orc racial, you'll have no like healing reduction effects. So then what you do, you just use the racial when you see you're going to take big damage. Then after like the healing debuff's gone, the 50%, and you just like pop your Hellstone, the Druid can even NS, and that can get you like out of some really sticky situations. Like, it's actually so good if you use it correctly.
There's nothing more annoying than when your 5 wounds disappear and blood flurry or whatever it's called.
Oh, and one more thing, which is so good though. Like when you blood fury, it removes the wound poison. So then, if your druid has abolished poison, he's only got to worry about getting off one poison, which is the crippling. So you'll get faster dispels, which gives you more mobility to like run around the kite, which is so strong.
So what he's speaking on is a very bizarre interaction where like that debuff you get, where you like mortal strike yourself essentially on orc, it like overrides wound poison because it's
exactly.
I guess, but it's the same. Is it the same
Yep.
amount?
Yeah, it's 50%.
Yeah.
It's 50%, but if you time it correctly, it can really screw rogues over, and it really gives warriors, like he was saying, with Abolish up, it gives them so much momentum because they're not going through 5 stacks of wound to get to that cripple and RNG and all that. It's just that Abolish is ticking off that cripple every 3 seconds, and the rogues don't have the energy or the globals to just keep it up constantly. You know, it's pretty hard.
Yeah, it's amazing how such random niche aspects of a single racial on a race can be so high impact, and you guys are.
Orc felt really good. I started with undead, and I wanted to try all of them. So I went undead, then I switched to a gnome, then I switched to an orc. And orc was like, those little resist breaks were so nice, man. And a lot of times when you're with the comp, you're not really getting focused as a warlock. A lot of the times it's SL, you know what I mean? Like your partner will. Thus, you can blood fury pretty soon and not have to worry about getting damage on you, you know? Unless they focus you because they see that you have it on.
If I see an orc warlock, and I know we have to blow it up, like Chief Shot Kidney's worthless. Like you gotta Garrote expose and just pump them. It's the only way.
Okay. Well, another thing before we can move on from racials is a lot of people are excited to play Blood Elves, and I think back in the day we have all these traumatized memories of getting owned by Blood Elves and Arcane torrenting us for a little extra silence. But that, among some of the big brains I've been speaking to, and just in practice too, you don't see many Blood Elves. And you know, do you see the Blood Elf racial good on any race? Can you make it work, or is it something that you wouldn't see other than Paladins?
You'll see it on Ret Pally, that's about it. Or Holy Pally, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what was funny about that in-house server, is you see a lot of Blood Elf rogues, so you can tell they're coming from Classic.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's new, it must be good.
Oh, I get so happy when the doors open and I see a Blood Elf rogue. I'm like, okay, you're getting stuck in a fear, bud.
Yo.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
that's
Tactics loves Blood Elves rogues, and he even switched to undead pretty much immediately.
Yeah,
okay.
I saw him do that, and I was like, you learned it real quick on that one.
Yep. Okay, let's move on. Classes and specs tier list. Do you guys feel that every class in the game has a real shot at like pushing titles and playing at the highest levels of competitive play, every class, or is there a class that stands out that does not have a spec that they can play?
Not every class. I think Paladin is severely crippled compared to everything else. Like they really do have a hard time on TBC.
Even Ret?
Like,
even Ret and Holy?
Actually, nah. You're right. Ret can do it, I guess, in 3s, maybe 2s, but
hard.
Yeah. There's not many Ret Pallies, to be honest. Like it's really hard to
see
find
them in the arena, and really, you don't panic when you see one. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, it's not like something people really play that much. Like there's a few good Ret Pallies, but I feel like Holy's pretty much. It's really, really hard to push with Holy, but yeah.
Are we talking 5s as well?
Yeah,
about 5s. They can push 5s.
So I think with 5s, you're going to see anything is possible, to be honest. Especially if there's going to be more than, if it's going to be 9 battle groups again, yeah, you'll see Ellie Shamans, you'll see some Holy Pallies and 5s and stuff like that. They'll make it work.
Sorry, yeah, I always forget 5s, man. Always forget this bracket.
True.
But for the real talk, 2s and 3s, like you won't really see any Holy Pallies up that high. I mean, Azzy, what do you think about Season 1 Holy Pally Warrior? I think they do okay.
It's okay, but it is actually kind of rough. On Endless, it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
No?
We actually had quite good gear as well, but it felt really hard, actually. Some of the stuff was really hard. Like, Warrior Druid and stuff was easy. I don't think we lost to one Warrior Druid, but, like, even Rogue Mage, we were proper hard on Endless.
Yeah. Well, let's go through these classes. Maybe you can comment on some. Some of these are just going to be a non-starter. We'll start with Hunter. Beast Mastery. Best application in the arena, if any. Or you can say pass too, like just literally no place in the arena ever. Just next.
They do. In Season 1, they pump hard, man. In Season 1, they're so good.
Season 1, they're so
actually
good.
Really. Yeah. I think.
Why? Because no res.
Yeah, pretty much. But like the pet does so much damage compared to the other seasons. Like in Season 1, the pet pumps so hard. Like you can legit just pop the Beast or Ref CD. The pet is like nearly just soloing someone. Like that's how crazy it is. Season 1 BM.
Very true.
It's insane.
And I asked Rec this on stream, Azzy, and he said, well, yeah, I'll just say what he said. He said that season 1, he thinks that, and again, correct me if I'm butchering this, Rec, but you were saying double DPS, in your opinion, was the strongest, just set up for 2s in season 1.
I think it is. That's my personal opinion. I think double DPS. You know, like the rogue mages and the rogue warlocks are just extremely over the top in the early seasons when there's no Brazil.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. Any double DPS is just gonna pump. So like rogue lock, rogue mage, like all these kind of combos are just really, really good.
Yeah.
Like
You gotta think HP's low, Brazil's low, damage is still high, but MP5 is low, and healing is low too. So I mean, just kind of like an equation you just put together. Just makes sense.
And in season 1 as well, you get my absolute nightmare, and that is Pom Pyro Mage, and it's more common in season 1 than ever. All you do is legit cheap shot, kidney shot, Pom, CS, the game is over. Like that's how bursty it is in season 1. It's insane.
Okay, so if you had to play a BM Hunter, you know, personally, you had to man a gun to your head, what would you run as?
Maybe Dwarf. Maybe Dwarf or I think the Dwarf is huge for Hunter. The fact you can remove the poisons and stuff. Then you can just get like a NS heal and it's just super strong, I think, Dwarf.
Yeah. I've been really impressed with both survival and MM to the control, like a Dwarf Hunter. That's MM. Just the CC chain seems pretty consistent, you know, just like that you just hit with an LS of a second, you're just scattered into a trap. It just happens every time. There's not really like any skill shot to it or anything too. So
I hate Hunters so much.
Yeah, go ahead.
I hate them so much.
I thought they were garbage, but because BM doesn't seem that too hard to beat, and then I started versing some like good MMMs, and I was like, I respect them a little bit more now.
It like just depends on like what comp you're facing into them. Like if I'm playing like Rogue Mage into like a Hunter Druid or Hunter Priest, it's like you just go in, you smork, and if you win right then and there, you win, and if you lose, it's just a quick loss. So it's like whatever. At least the pain and torture is just over quick. But if you're queuing like Disc Priest Rogue into like Disc Priest or Druid Hunter, it's just you can't move. Your priest is just popping out just to throw you a shield for a second, and his mana's just drained within like. And all the hunter has to do is literally hit like Focus Viper Sing. There's just nothing the priest can do. He just goes sends his pet over to the priest. He can't drink. You know, it's just and you're just waddling around in this frost trap. You step the guy to get to him, and you shiv him cripple instantly, and he just scatters you. And then he's back outside of it.
If he's a dwarf, can't he just stone form all your poisons, and then you're stuck in the trap?
Or he trinkets, or he gets abolished on the cripple. So it's like outside of your kidney, and when he doesn't have a trinket, it's just like you're just running around, just praying to God that your priest can hold on for a little longer until you can make something happen.
So which spec are you more scared of, right? Because I see some marksman, I see some survival, I see some BM. I don't think BM. Like
I'm scared of marksman.
Marksman, okay.
BM is pretty highly avoidable because it's like you just have to survive the BM. That's in my opinion, at least. He's gonna survive the BM, and then
I agree.
Yeah.
Line of sight.
Nah, I think season 1. I think season 1 is just. I don't even think like you don't have the choice of avoiding the BM in season 1. You just get wrecked sometimes. Like it's that hard.
Yeah.
Like, it is for Warrior Druid anyway. Like season 1 is insane.
Would it be like BM Enhanced Shaman or something for season 1?
Nah.
Or BM
Red Priest? I feel like it's Priest Hunter, right?
Nah. Hunter Druid all day.
Hunter Druid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy. BM Hunter Druid.
That's nutty.
Okay, well, if we spend this much time in every class, we'll be here all day, so we'll try to tear through it. Okay, let's get on to Mage now. So we have Arcane, we have Fire, we have Frost. Specs, I mean, people have always heard of Frost Mages. What do you guys have to say about Mages generally, if anything comes to mind? Karina?
Well, Rec's a Mage. Big Rec.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that I know season 1, season 2, they run a lot of Palm Pyros because there's not a lot of res, and you can get a lot of really good high spell damage out of Karazhan. And they can rock that with the Palm Pyro gear. Other than that, I don't know anything about mages.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk on what I know about mage. I think that there's probably a few people watching this that probably have more knowledge of the mage class than I do. I'll just start off by saying that. But I mean, mages are just they're a high skill cap and they're pretty strong. I personally I really like mages later on in TBC when they have haste, because that's just kind of my playstyle. Like going back to again, like I have a Lich King playstyle, so having that haste is just nice for me. In season 1 and 2, you'll see a lot less casting, and literally all you have to do is just like time your shatters and like ice lances.
I see.
What other question? What were the other questions you had about mage, just in general?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is like low-hanging fruit stuff. We could skip over this stuff and leave the class stuff till last. I really just want to get into the hard-hitting, the real hard-hitting stuff here.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do, Kargoz.
Yeah, I mean, help us out here too, chat. I mean, if there's anything, burning questions, chat, let them rip in the chat here. We have 2v2, 3v3 meta, map tips and tricks, movement, UI. Let's try to get into movement and UI stuff. Like, I'm telling you, like... Yeah, what is your perspective when you watch people play Arena? Are they moving correctly? Do they have the UI set up?
I'm gonna let Azzy take this away with movement, because every time I face Azzy, compared to a lot of other warrior druids, there's only a couple that like. There's nothing worse than a warrior. Like if I'm playing DPR into his druid warrior, there's nothing more annoying for a DPR is a warrior that knows how to kite at the proper times. Like as he keeps, people can say, oh yeah, he kites the wounds off. Like no, it's more than that. Like he'll get a slow on me before he intervenes away. Okay, and then I'll step him, and he'll know that he needs to intercept back to the priest, which is 20 yards away, and get that slow up on me before. So now he's on the other side of the map. I do not have a step anymore, and my wounds are going to drop off him. Not only that, I'm in the middle of the open, and now his druid, if his druid's good, can just control me, and now he can just go pummel my priest for like 30 seconds, Like those are the huge things that people don't really think of. So Azzy, you can take that away.
Yeah, well said, Brett. Yeah, movement's huge in TBC, man. Music's huge because... Not music. Movement is huge because, like, as a warrior, you don't have loads of mechanics compared to, like, a rogue, etc. So I feel like you've got to make up for that with just, like, really good positioning, reading the game, kind of knowing what they want to do, like, just as they're about to do it, if you know what I mean. And I think good movement can be, like, the deciding factor whether you win or lose a game. Like, do you position well enough to avoid the fear, etc., etc.? And yeah, movement is like one of the biggest things in TBC, without a doubt. You got to be at like the right place at the right time.
The positioning. I mean, it'd just be really interesting someday to get your 2 cents on how you set everything up on your screen. Have you guys noticed this, chat, where people are usually either really bad at the game or new to the game, or they're amazing at the game when they're playing with full default UI and stuff? Like when I watch Azzy play, he's not using any bartender or anything like that. He's just got everything default, and he's just just crushing. It's crazy. I feel like I could never play with the target frames at the top left and the standard, but you're making it.
Yeah, I got it different on Wrath of Lich King. It's just I just never changed it on TBC for some reason.
It's tough to say, how to do movements. I mean, I guess it's pretty obvious, like on how you strafe and how you position. What about add-ons on the add-ons front? What is the essential, bare bones, like necessary add-ons and stuff you need to play effectively?
Oof, I could probably so
this is a big list.
Yeah, I'll go to like 10 or something. So Gladdy's one. Spell Alerter. So basically what Spell Alerter does is... Actually, people might not even know what Gladi is. So Gladi basically just shows the arena frames. So say if you're playing against a rogue and a priest, you have a little like box showing a rogue and a priest. It shows their trinkets. Some Gladdies actually show which CDs they have active. So if they've got Step on cooldown, Cloak of Shadows, Preparation. Another one is Spell Alerter. If a target casts a spell, it will come up with their name and whichever ability they're casting right next to their name. So if you're playing a Void Druid Mirror and the Druid's in stealth, and he casts Clone and you can't even see the guy, it will come up with his name and the clone, and then you can know to reflect without even seeing him because you know he's casting the clone. Like this kind of stuff's huge. I like cooldown count. So if you use Death Wish, then it will just give a timer of how long until the Death Wish is up. Same with any other cooldown. It's pretty nice. One of my favorites is Lose Control. If someone gets like blind, keeping shot or something, their nameplate in your party will actually come up with the CC, and it will have like a duration of how long like it's up for, and that's like super nice. Yeah, the list goes on really, man. I could be here all day.
I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's
Internet
aggressively
bar.
taking notes in the chat right now, man.
I think you can kind of sum it up, and then people can, go through a lot of these stream profiles and stuff and look for the specific ones. But like, you need your cooldown counter. So you want something for enemy cooldowns. You need your Gladi. You need your arena profiles. You need Snowfall key press. So we missed that one. I think that one's huge.
That's
that
a good
makes, all of your abilities react on press down. A lot of players that are coming from retail and classic who have it as a basic, interface option just to make it so your abilities, activate on key press down. You need to get an add-on for that for TBC. TBC Classic will probably be different. They'll change the interface options, but you need that.
WI lets you do it too.
Yep. What else?
The first one that Ozzy was saying, so spell alerter. I know I don't have that one. So that will pop up in its own little frame that somebody's casting a cycle, and it won't be like above their nameplate.
No, basically, is that like near the top of the screen at the middle, and it literally just comes up with their name and whichever spell they're casting, man, and it will do that for like the rest of the game, kind of. Yeah.
It's like a DBM
really,
announcement.
nice. Yeah, pretty much like a PvP arena DBM announcement.
Yeah. By the way, can you send me yours because I need one for TBC?
Yeah, sure. After this, man.
I see. No, that sounds so huge. And so there is no weak auras for like the TBC private servers, are there?
Yes, there is. You gotta
power
make
auras, right?
No, there is weak auras, but you can't use waggle.io to make them. I use weak auras and I have to make them myself. So like dot timers or boss timers, whatever ones that you would use. Like my fell armor falls off and I'm handicapped and I can't remember to put it up. I have a weak aura that tells me if I'm drowning in it.
But swing timer.
You have to make them yourself.
Oh yeah, swing timer. Very true.
That's huge for War.
I see when you play, right? Like every time Mortal Strike comes off cooldown, you almost have like a weak aura type thing in the middle of your screen where it pops up the Mortal Strike symbol.
Yeah, Doom cooldown pulse.
That's my favorite one right there.
Doom.
Yeah, that's nice.
Cooldown.
That's my favorite one. That will literally, sometimes I'll forget about completely something and I'll see like Death Coil just pop up on my screen. I'm like, yes. I love it. It's like my favorite add-on for PvP.
I see. Okay. And then also focus frame is another one too. That is pretty essential. Do you? What is your system? This is I think pretty juicy and helpful for people. What is your system for targeting? Just targeting, switching targets. How do you design your keybinds and just a whole UI so that you can smoothly target and use your spells effectively?
Well, I think the focus frame is a huge one. So what I do is I make a macro, and all it says in the macro is /focus. And so what I do is I keybind it to somewhere on my Naga. I have it on 11, like somewhere near the back. And every time I want to change focus, I either just click on the target and then just click like the /focus macro and it will change the focus. Or there's actually one other trick. If you right click someone's nameplate on Gladi, then it will put them on focus like that as well. So I either use the macro or just right click Gladi, and that's how I assign the focus.
I see.
In the keybind section, you can also, there's a button in your keybind settings. There's just a button that tells you to set focus. You can set it there too.
Yeah, that works too.
So, but your general system too, I don't know if you have a system, but let's say this is the gates, right? Arena starts, you pop out, right?
Yep.
ReqT, it's Ozzy. Are you putting your healer on focus, enemy healer on focus, your friend on focus? Is it situational that you put on focus?
Something's always on focus.
Yeah, it's always the enemy. I never really put my healer on focus. It's always like the enemies on focus.
I put their healer on focus.
I do like the same thing as him. I do. So my Naga 4, 5, and 6 are target arena 1, 2, or 3. So I can always target whoever I want, like instantaneously. My focus, I have like a shift. What's that mark? Asterisk mark? The squiggly thing next to a 1. So that's keybound to focus whatever I'm targeting. So I use that a lot. A lot of the times. So in Lich King, I have focus 1, 2, and 3 also bound. In TBC, I never even did it because I usually have so much. It's a lot slower game than Lich King. So I have. I just got logged off. I have. I'll just right click Gladi. Honestly, like when I'm stunning someone, or if I know I'm about to do something to my focus target and I need to switch it, I'll just switch it over with my macros or keybinds.
I see.
And one thing to add as well, like sometimes, say if I'm playing Lock Druid, say I'm playing against you in Crix right now, and say I'm on Crix, I'd have you on the focus, And then, for example, say if I switch on you right now, I might just quickly stick Crix on focus, so then I can see what he's casting, etc., etc. I can see if he's targeting my druid. So if I see Crix targeting my druid and running to my druid when I'm on you, then I might think, I might need to go back. Crix might want to death coil my healer, etc. So the focus kind of like, it gives you an indication of like the next move in a sense.
Yeah, always. It's like whatever your target is, the other target's always gonna be the focus. Like whenever I switch.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
pretty
that,
much.
I'm already learning something.
Because you want to keep eyes on both of them at all times.
When I enter the arena, I usually just find the healer, and I'll just focus them, and then I'll just have the DPS as my target, and I'll try to just use them as 2 target frames. I don't think that's how you're supposed to use them. Like, it's dynamic, right? Like, when you switch, whoever you're on and who you swap to, you put the other guy in focus, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of, but like not all the time though. So if you're like a hunter and you're constantly just draining the healer with a focus drain, then you might not even switch to focus because you just focus drain. So chances are like it's some stuff you might not switch.
I feel like as me as the DPS, I don't know if it's a warlock thing, but I put usually the healer on focus, and then I just have all my macros, all my dots are set to one button to my target, the other button to my focus. So you don't really need to switch targets.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
that's
just a
good
warlock
for
thing. Yeah, okay.
I see. So, and then you also mentioned target enemy, target arena 1, 2, and 3. Those don't work by default, I don't think, right? In the TBC client, you have to use
bind them in Gladdy.
Yeah. Right? So hopefully with TBC Classic, they're just gonna inherit some of that modern, technology, and that would just be a more straightforward thing, right? You could just straight up, bind.
Yeah.
Arena 1.
I mean, in the end, it's all the same technically. I mean, you actually binding it to Gladdy is kind of nice because if you use a stock UI, you're actually saving 3 spots where you would put macros on your bars.
Exactly. What about for targeting your teammates? Do you have a system for that? Because
yeah, so if I play Priest or Druid, Azie's is probably the same. I have Naga, so like my 1, 2, and 3 on my Naga are to target my party 1, target party 2, target party 3, and then I think on my Druid I even have like Abolish 1, Abolish 2, and Life Bloom 1, Life Bloom 2.
Yeah. And one thing as well, if you press F1, I'm pretty sure that targets yourself or something, or targets like party 1. And if Kargoz, if you hit F2 twice, does it target Crix's pet by any chance?
I use my
sure
F1. I'm a lefty, so I have scuffed ass blinds.
Right, okay.
So.
Mine's on.
Yeah, that's probably how I just did it. Just like if I wanted to pet, I'd either just make like a pet macro or something like this, or yeah, that's how I don't really need to target the healer too much, man. I just click his nameplate just to see how much blooms he's got, how much wounds he got, but I don't really target him too much.
I see. So another thing I learned, and some people in the chat might have learned as well. I didn't even know that you could target party 1. Is that something that you have to bind to Gladdy as well, or is that a default?
You can use it macro. You can do both.
I use macro.
You can use macro, or you can go into the settings.
But you make a macro that just says target party 1 without having to do anything Gladdy, and you're targeting.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Or instead of target party 1, you would target name, like target Kargoz.
Okay.
Or whatever your name is in the game.
Sometimes I'll do that too. Okay. Well, that's huge. So.
But in that way, you got to change it every time you get you're with somebody else, versus just saying party 1, 2, 3.
But I like what Requiem said. So you said your Naga 4, 5, and 6. First of all, that might be another big tip. If you're a righty and you're fortunate enough to be right-handed by a Naga mouse, do all the big brains use Naga mouse? I don't know.
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, me too.
I'm ordering one.
It's
you
so
gotta have
huge.
it, man. You gotta have it.
I don't use control binds, so I literally only use shift binds and my Naga.
The control binds are hard to use sometimes. You gotta bend that pinky. I mean, you can do it easily, but like when you're panicking, you kind of I don't know.
I think it's just my keyboard. I have a pretty big gaming keyboard. A lot of people have those minis and stuff. It's probably easier.
I actually use shift binds on the Nega as well. Like I use quite a lot of shift binds, so there's like nearly 20 buttons on the Nega itself.
Yeah.
Altogether.
Good tips. Good tips. Okay. Let's see here. As far as anything else we can think of in the arena, as far as in order to feel like you have enough information to like pilot your character well, you need a lot of macros in the arena. It's another thing that pretty much all the classes that you play, you're gonna have to just learn about what's going to be effective. Druid, you have a ton, just like cancel form this, like just 4 different versions of your abilities. One thing I was curious about you guys when I watch you guys play, so when Azie plays, like he has a charge next to another charge, he has a bash next to another bash, or a pummel next to another pummel. Why is that? Have you ever thought about just doing like the control modifier for them, or am I not thinking of something here?
We don't
maybe
a habit. We're used to it.
the thing is though, like I've set up my warrior in such a scuffed way, like the way I've set up my binds over the years, that it's kind of hard for me to do that. Unfortunately, like I can't. For example, like some people they'll do like pummel for E, and then shift E for focus pummel. But unfortunately, like I've already got that stuff binded, so I've had to like compromise and mix a little bit of stuff up really.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Been using the same binds since 2000 whatever, whenever classic TV, like the retail TBC was out. So 14, 12 years, 10 years, however long it's been, trying to change them. It's easier to add something than to change up.
Okay. There's another add-on I saw where above the nameplate, like above Requiem's name right here, it would show.
Cooldown.
Yeah.
Icicle.
Yeah, it's Icicle.
Icicle.
It's dope.
Okay.
So I use Icicle. I use Icicle, which is awesome, especially for melee classes. I think the most because Azzy's always trying to get behind targets to make sure they don't get dodged or parried or whatever. Same with me. So you're really focusing hard on the character in front of you and which way they're positioning. So being able to see their cooldowns right then and there, like I'll know that his gouge or his kidney's coming up, so like I'll be able to move as fast as I can right when I know that's coming up and put an evasion up or whatever. And then I have like Aisa, which is another cooldown tracker, which is off to my left for like some of the bigger cooldowns and stuff like that, which I can check over every once in a while and know that they're coming up soon.
I see.
But Icicle's huge. It's really nice.
Yeah, to touch on something which Rex said, which is super important. Like you said, if you have the cooldowns above their nameplate, then you're not actually looking at like other parts of the screen to see where the cooldowns are. And as soon as you look away from like the target and stuff, like you're not like as focused as much. But if you can like attack someone and just see the cooldowns like in plain sight without even like moving your vision, then it's just super nice, I think.
Absolutely. So we touched on all some really nice add-ons. I gotta do some downloading after this, man. Get those going.
Yeah, for sure, mate.
Okay, so I think that's it for as far as the essentials. Unless you can think of anything else, we can start getting into comps now and just looking at what the most popular 2v2 and 3v3 comps are and why. So let's do that. It's what's more interesting, 2v2 or 3v3? Maybe 3v3?
Might as well get twos out of the way. That will be quick.
Okay, let's go with twos.
Go for it.
Azzy, what's the most populated twos comp that you fight?
Rogue Mage, man. Shadow Priest Rogue, man. The fact that you're laughing, man, it's not cool. It's not cool, right? It's not cool, bro.
Well, he's laughing because it was as he plays Rogue Warrior Druid, and that's the hard counter.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that? You want to talk about like the setup between like a Warrior Druid and Rogue Mage?
Yeah, I guess like Rogue Mage, for example, is like probably like the hardest double DPS counter for Warrior Druid, and unfortunately, it's a very, very popular combo. And yeah, like I said earlier, with the 2v2 being super unbalanced, like this is just a classic example again. Like Rogue Mage is just incredibly hard for Warrior Druid. I think it's hard for like Warrior Shaman as well. But yeah, there's just certain combos, man. It's the same with Shadow Priest Rogue as well. And the worst thing is though, like in earlier seasons, it's even harder, which isn't ideal for Warrior Druid.
Rogue Mage can make so many mistakes versus Warrior Druid, and Warrior Druid can play an absolutely flawless game. And as long as the Mage Rogue just played like at an average decent level, like the Rogue Mage still will win,
Yeah.
And the mainstream
incredibly one-sided.
You don't have a discount.
I've played against Azzy where they play so flawlessly, where they stop so many goes, and like I know that and he also has to have like RNG on his side too. Like he needs to like resist a Nova with his sure-footed enchant, or like get a good reflect here and there. But even then, it's like so easy just to avoid all that. The Druid has to play perfectly, like charge the right things, get out at the right time, be aggressive at the right time. That's the biggest thing I think, is like a Druid that knows when to be aggressive and when to like just go hide. And like when I fought him, like say like it's you and Desp or whatever, like if Desp is like if Desp is out of mana, you know that the Warrior Druid played it perfectly, and the Mage Rogue is just kind of like it's had too many times, too many kill attempts that just got destroyed pretty much.
I see.
Yes.
So top 5 teams in the 2v2 bracket, off the top of the head.
Rogue Druid, Lock Druid, DPR.
Lock
Nah.
Oh, don't disrespect me.
Sorry, bro.
Wait, you said
Lock Druid?
Lock Druid? Okay.
Yeah, Lock Druid, DPR, Rogue Druid, DPM. There's one more which I said the other day on stream.
Rogue Mage?
Rogue Priest?
It was. I said that one.
Okay. Mage Priest?
That's mainly, yeah, I think.
There's no shaman up there, is there?
No, not really. Not in
No.
twos.
Not in 2s. Why is that? As a curiosity.
Yeah, it's way too many counters for shaman. Just, yeah, like the most traditional combo you'll see of a shaman in twos is like warrior shaman or ret shaman, but like they're just not S tier combos. They're not like top combos.
What do you think is the weakness of shaman in that respect? Because I kind of struggle fighting shamans. I don't know what to do all the time. You know, I feel like they actually have more sustain than I give them credit for. And
yeah, the problem is with shamans is like they can dispel curses and stuff like this, and locks like really cripple them, and they're not really viable to play with many other classes either. Like you can play lock shaman, but as soon as you face like a good warrior druid or something, like they can't really do much. Whereas if it was like lock disc priest, it would be 10 times harder game than it would be with shaman. They have quite a lot of inborn, like
Shamans are super. They have to play like super aggressive, or they're kind of just a meme. To be fair, it's like because they're only heals. You got to think. You know, druids have hots, priests have bubbles, palms, renews, dispels. Like shaman has an offensive purge, and everything else needs to be casted for heals. So if a warlock comes in the game and they put curse of tongues on him, it's like he can only get like 1 or 2 casts off here and there between spell locks, and that doesn't even include if he's playing with a druid. He's got feral kick clones.
Not even just that too, but also everybody here has a totem stomping macro. So all my pet is doing the entire arena is looking for totems.
Right. And they go extremely fast.
And as
So
a
basically,
rogue,
when you,
sorry, go for it, man.
I was just gonna say, like when you're playing a shaman against like a lock team, it's just like it's like a time glass. It's just time is just ticking and ticking, and the longer the game is the harder it is for the warrior shaman. 9 times out of 10, because like the curse of tongues and the dots will just break them down over time. That's why they usually got to make something happen fast, or they'll just lose like late game.
I see. And they have to go into a human caster form to put down totems too, right, Rex? So from you as a rogue perspective, you can get the sap on them, right? As long as you know, unless they're starting vanilla with no totems, or are they just sitting in Ghost Wolf against a...
I mean, really good shamans are just they're gonna sit Ghost Wolf until you can really tell. I mean, there isn't a lot. I'll be honest, from what I've seen, Azzy has more a longer time playing this, but there's not a lot of top tier shamans. Like a lot of times I can run in if it's just like an average shaman, like I can sprint step him and sap him before he even goes Ghost Wolf, because they kind of have that OCD to like get to this pillar real quick and, you know, put out their 4 totems and be ready and then go into Ghost Wolf. I can literally just like sprint in and like rush, just step sap them, open the warrior or shaman before they can even play the game. And then to make it even worse, shamans are so like people think, oh well, they can shock and they can ground. Like if the warrior just charges into the middle right here in the map and I sap him behind that pillar, me and my mage can just pummel this warrior, right? And my mage, right as the sap's about to end, he can just take his pet and he can just Nova him LOS. And just Novaing the shaman LOS is another 8 seconds.
Oh, true though. Yeah, no
CC,
defensive dispel,
you know what I mean?
right?
Like they can't play. And the warrior can't even intervene him. He just sits there and just dies. You know what I mean?
So shamans are kind of as susceptible to warriors in roots then, right? That's another thing. They're, like, because warriors are very susceptible, but you can kind of, you know, make up for that with escape artist. You can just root a shaman.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's what we do against shamans sometimes. Like we might just build up combo points. As soon as he goes behind the pillar, my druid will go over, maim him, and he'll just root him at the main, and then he can't dispel the root, and he can't pre-grounding the root anyway because he's in a main, and it's actually like a huge play.
Yeah, that sounds rough from the shaman perspective. So I have a slide up right now called Healers, right? And I think this is pretty juicy content, talking about the strengths and weaknesses of each healer, right? I have been blown away by how powerful the priest is recently. People always hate on paladins, you know, and say they're so predictable and obtuse and easy to play around, but there's got to be more to it than that too. What would you say the strengths and weaknesses of the priest are?
The absorbs are super strong, like the shield. The dispels are insane, offensive and defensively. They just like the fact that they can dispel magic as well. Like the only other healer which can do that is Paladin.
Master spell.
Master spell, yeah, like you said,
Master
that's
spell's
huge.
huge. You can find rogues with master spell. They have a lot of comps they can do. They have mini buffs they can do, especially trash buffs. Shadow prod is huge because there's going to be a bunch of warlocks everywhere, forcing them to use spell pin. Prayer of Mending is the most fucking annoying thing in the world as the warlock.
Yeah.
Don't fucking forget about that. Unbreakable Will is 50% stun, fear, and science. Bro, priests are broken. I wish I knew how to play one just so I can fucking play one. I can't. Pain suppression? Bro. I don't want to talk
Like
about
Crick
it.
said with the Prayer of Mending, like Crick said. So basically, if a priest has Prayer of Mending up, if you're playing a warrior and you're playing against DPR and you're spamming Whirlwind, you're just literally just healing them. You're not actually doing damage. You're literally making the pom bounce from target to target, and you're actually not even doing anything by like AoEing a priest.
That is so
It's
insane.
so annoying, bro. It's so annoying. I can't dot them. You can't put the pet on them. You can't do anything. You just gotta just fucking take it.
This is
Pretty
so.
much,
So would you agree with this statement? Because I, as a student of the game now, just learning this stuff, people are saying, yeah, against a priest, you really can't multi-dot. That feels so horrible as a warlock. Is that? I mean, in your opinion, is that true? Like you're just healing them with the prayer mending?
Yeah, that's the thing, bro. It really is. It's really rough out there for you warlocks when you got a single target dot.
Prayer healing. It's like 800 healing on it on a short ass cooldown, and they can just spam that shit, and it just bounces 5 times. So if I hit the priest, it bounces to Rec, and then you're hitting Rec already, so it just ping pongs back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's so annoying.
Not only that, you single dot, but now that priest is like, oh well, I healed up my guy and I dispelled all of his dots off my partner, so I'm just gonna go for a drink. And you're like, well, I'm just gonna send my pet on you. And now the pet hits him, and then it pomps back to him. So it's like,
it's like 3,000.
you gotta kind of choose. Either way, you're gonna bounce the palm, or you're gonna stop his drink. So,
but every class has some sort of kryptonite. They have some sort of cracks in the armor, right? And it's knowing what those are. And you said, like, Requiem, if you don't know what you're doing up against a rogue, and you don't know what those timing windows are, where you actually can run away and get away, and either just hard cast something in their face. They feel so oppressive, it's disgusting, But there's got to be something like that for Priest, right? What is the weakness as you see it for Priest?
For Priest, I mean, from a 1v1 perspective, it's a rogue. I mean, rogues are the strongest in arena. So say if it ever comes down to a 1v1 in arena, if a rogue has mage food on him, you pretty much can't beat a good rogue with mage food. So I would say rogues definitely destroy priests in a 1v1 perspective of that. Warriors just destroy priests, in the open and mid-game and stuff like that, I think. Hunters can, rip apart priests, especially with the mana drain.
They have no mobility at all. So remember, they have no mobility whatsoever. And a lot of their stuff, they're a very healer that's more vulnerable to dispels than the other healers to dispels, because all their stuff can be dispelled, even prayer mending can be dispelled. And your pet, or
that's what I was about to say, Crix. Yeah, they have like really, really bad mobility. Like a rogue can just shiv crippling on them, and they can't dispel poisons and stuff. And I feel like, apart from being able to dispel magic, their mobility is like really limited, which is definitely hard for them.
You saw it in the opening video. Like, if a priest is on one side of a pillar and a rogue's on the other side of the pillar, and I want to go kill that rogue, I'll just run over and focus shiv the priest. He'll waddle at 30% speed to get to his rogue to save him. By the time he gets to his rogue, he's out of combat. I'll just vanish around the pillar, sap him, and then open back on the rogue,
So good players will really capitalize on the lack of mobility of priests. Like, they'll set up kills like that, kind of? Okay.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Okay,
and
Druid is the
the
opposite.
squishiest healer, too?
No.
Priest?
No. Yeah. Outside of the barrier?
It depends. If you're playing with someone who can dispel the priest shield, so if you're playing warrior shaman, and you pop bloodlust and you're just purging the priest, then they will just full up. Like, the offensive dispels are just so strong. It just depends on the matchup.
Yep.
So, okay. And then Druid is on the opposite end of the spectrum. They're the little Lambo in there, right? They're just like just skirting everywhere, man. I mean, why do you play with the Druid over a priest? What makes the Druid so strong for you as a warrior? What do you like so much about it? Or is there, give us some high IQ takes too, if there's something that really comes to mind that appeals to you about it.
I love the freedom with the Druid. The fact that the majority of their healing they can do well, they can move. So for example, if especially in threes as well, if we're just playing like full defensive, I haven't even got to worry about standing still for heals. Me and the druid can just run Africa, let the lock like tank the damage, get the fears up, slow the game down, and we just run in Africa together, just getting full heals, just chilling. And I just love the fact that you got so much freedom. Like they barely ever cast when they need to heal, which is just so nice, man.
Which partners up with the fact that they're HOTS is everybody else is casting heals, which gives you, you know, you're susceptible to interrupt spell locks, line of sight and stuff. And Curse of Tongues destroys healers. Who cares if you Curse of Tongue a druid compared, because he has all HOTS, you know what I mean?
True.
Like almost everything is HOTS, which helps with you when they get CC'd, they still have HOTS taking on the player as well. So yeah, I can fear you, but you still, I fear you, but you still have HOTS on Azzy this whole fucking time, you know what I mean?
What about the warrior druid versus warrior priest mirror? Is druid warrior favorite?
Yeah, we're favored. Yeah, we can just CC them most of the time. Like it can get really sticky, especially on the opener, because they're starting off with like shields and stuff. And if you use the shield, when the I'm not sure what the debuff's called, but there's some sort of debuff when you use the shield.
Weaken soul.
Yeah, that's it. And after a while, that will disappear. So like you can literally just do another shield straight after that one breaks. So on the opener is super hard because they got a lot of shields and they're just spamming purges and like dispels. But like later game, when you just rotate CC and just like when your druid needs to innovate, you just like disarm the warrior, like line of sight as best as you can, even sacrifice trinket to loss. Like it's winnable.
Who ooms the fastest, goes out of mana the fastest out of all the healers, generally speaking? I mean, there's so much to this.
Shaman.
Shaman, yeah.
Shaman,
Pally, in that order. Shaman, Pally, Priest, Druid, because Druids have innervate. Question mark?
Yeah.
Probably, but the only thing is with the Shaman though, like when they're if you like when you hit them though, they get a lot of mana. So when they're usually like try leave them alone sometimes because of the water shield. Just give them free mana.
Took me a while to figure out that water shield. My partner didn't tell me that. I'm just wailing on him. Like, dude, how's he getting his fucking mana back?
The pet's just battering him, just giving him mana.
The other thing is Paladin is I feel like is building a reputation now. You know, the more and more videos people watch about DBC, like you always hear the Paladins are so weak in the arena, but occasionally you hear a big brain person say, "Oh, you know, like Warrior Paladin is actually really strong." Like, is there some upside with the Paladin? Are you ever scared of a Paladin in the arena? Like, have you been against good?
Yeah. I played a 52-minute game yesterday against a Warrior Pala.
Who's Pally? Brent?
It's Wolfgar. And because right now, like if Pallies have like the Sommel offset, like the cape, some of the tier 6, even the weapon of Illidan, if targets are under 50% HP, they actually get like healed more through the mace. So there are some sick PvE items which benefit the Palace so much. And for Warrior Druid, it can be really difficult to deal with that sometimes.
Okay. And it seems like Holy Paladin kind of does a good amount of damage somehow too.
Yeah, it does, bro. Back on Endless, before they released the server, they had like a server you could just play arena on, sort of thing, and just chill. Me and a Pala called Oddwaffle, who's actually a really good Pala. I think we were rank 1 for a bit, and we were like 202 for like 19 is Pala War. So even though people say Pala War is super scuffed, like if you're playing with a really good Pala, and you've got really good synergy, you can still make it work, like the right gear itemization and strategy.
So you think Warrior Paladin would be the strongest 2 combo for Paladin? Not so much red, actually? Not red?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Holy Pally Warrior is probably the only thing you're going to play with Holy Pally, really. Everything else
I feel like it's the only time I see him. Besides
pretty much.
I mean, besides like Resto, Sham, Red, obviously, but Holy Paladin Warrior a lot.
There is a meta you're forgetting about. I did play some games, and it was kind of fun, but it was just me. I mean, like, we didn't take it seriously. Shockedin Palm Pyro Mage.
Oh, played it earlier.
It is disgusting.
Really?
Season
disgusting.
1
Dude, we nearly lost earlier to that.
Yeah, it's bad. No one even knows about it. There's only probably 2
that?
Shockedins that play it seriously.
They just bop somebody with all their instant, because Holy Shot kind of hits hard. Like, it's crit too, right?
They
always
hit
crits.
really hard.
So you can actually, there's a spec called the Shockedin. It's not like an official spec like Prot, Ret, Holy. It's like this custom spec, which you use like loads of spell damage gear, and you're essentially a DPS class in like the Holy spec kind of. And you have like full damage gear, and you just pop wings, Holy Shock with a DPS trinket, and you can actually play like kind of DPS as a healer in a sense, but like it's like a weird spec.
They run Holy Shock, and then they go into Ret and get Sanctity, which is 10% holy damage.
Speaking of a DPS healer, another one that kind of is another aspect of Druid that I was gonna play it, and then I got pretty terrified because I don't even understand how they play it. Is the Restokin. Restokin does not have Feral Charge, right? And they don't have Swiftmend, I don't think?
Nah.
Nope.
Isn't that just my
Later
brain doesn't compute? How do you play Druid with no Swiftmend? How do you play Druid with no Feral Charge? How do you guys feel about the Restokin?
There's a couple. They have Dream State as well, where they don't use Feral Charge either. That's
That
kind of
is
common.
Dream State and Restokin. I think it's the same thing.
It's the same, yeah, it's the same.
Oh, okay, just different names. All right.
I mean, I'll touch on that because I think I probably play with Dream State a little bit more than Azzy, because I think you, as Warrior Druid, you mostly play Feral Charge, right?
Early death sometimes when he's trolling, but yeah, Feral Charge
Yeah.
usually.
So, like, when I play, and I'll play with, like, Trey, I play with Strong Druid, and for Rogue Druid, Season 3 and Season 4, we'll play Dream State spec. And the reason for it isn't actually because of Boomkin form. It's because once you get that far in the talents, you get the your intel increases, your intellect increases your MP5 and your spell power, plus you also get your spell hit talents going that high, so now you can gem like full healing. So like when we're playing Rogue Druid, versus just a standard Resto spec Druids, like he's way up on mana, and it really puts him far ahead in the advantage of being able to CC more. The damage output's a little bit better, and if he ever wants to tank, like he can tank Azzy as a Boomkin, for a little while and solo him while I look for the Druid, for instance. Like as a Feral Charge spec, he's not going to be able to tank him as much. I mean, I don't know if Azzy, if you agree with me with that, but
No, I totally agree.
Trey can just go into Boomkin form with, keep a regrowth and a rejuve coming out of stealth on him. He can entangle Azzy and just pump some Wrath, Insect, Swarm, and Moonfire into him. And actually drop Azzy, or any warrior down, a substantial amount to the point where it's the Druid's kind of like sitting there like, do I come out and heal my Druid and get ahead? Or do I, just sit in stealth and pray that the rogue opens? But if the rogue opens too late, he's going to blind me instantly. I'm going to have to trinket NS. Now I'm going to get cloned, this and that. So, Boomkin, or Dream State, you'll see it mostly in Rogue Druid spec. That's Rogue Druid comp. That's the main spec that you'll see. A lot of, at least high skill cap Druids, that's what they'll play.
I see.
Yeah, one of my only pushes was with the Dream State, and I had a lot of PvE gear on. I know that, a lot of bonus healing gems, 18 bonus healing gems, and we did all right. But the fights were so long, he would never run out of the mana pool was much better than the regular Druid was, and it was just the fights lasted forever. I had over an hour and a half fight sometimes.
So the more offensive spec for Resto Druid, the Restokin, actually can go the distance longer than the typical.
Yeah.
That's so counterintuitive.
But that CC from Feral, that Feral Charge is so nice, man.
Yeah.
Thinking about Feral Charge and Bash.
And one thing I want to touch on as well, Kargoz, is you said that you don't get Swift Mend when you go Restokin.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, typically against the warrior. So if you know the warrior is going to intercept you, you go into the Alkin form because it's got much more armor.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd maybe do like run out to a quick bloom, maybe either a rejuve, or you go back into Boomkin.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would start doing CC on the warrior because you can actually cast Cyclone, etc. in the Boomkin.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still getting, so like you're CCing warrior with all this armor and you're getting healed at the same time. And that's how like they manage to survive basically, because this armor which they get from like when they're casting the clones.
And you can do shit with bark skin on too, right? So you have bark skin, but you're able to still just like cast and shit with bark skin. You can,
You're in bear form. It's a Druid in bear form that's able to cast clones and damage and entangle.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's 400% armor increase in Boomkin form, which I believe in Dire Bear form it's also 400%. So you're literally a bear that's able to cast.
So why do you run with the other spec then? That seems literally better. It has more attrition, it can go longer, has more damage, has more control. What's to love for the typical Resto spec?
Depends on the setup though, man. Like if you're playing Lock Druid or Warrior Druid, you want the Feral Charge really. Like for Warrior Druid, man, like you cannot play, like for example, the Dream State, it can go longer, but it's not like bursty healing though, because they don't have as much healing talents as the Resto tree.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I'm playing against Rogue Mage and I've got a Dream State Druid, like we're not gonna win, man. It's just too much to ask really. But if I've got a Druid with like Swift Mend, and then he can actually charge the poly, so I'm able to peel the Rogue, then like the Feral Charge gives me more uptime to peel for him basically. So in that sense, like it's easier to survive with that other spec, and it can kind of go like quite long as well, even if not as long as the other spec. Like it's still like pretty good long distance.
I see. Okay, very interesting, fascinating, man. I really think we hit the nail on the head with some of that stuff there. Let's move on to threes while we can. We A little bit of time left here. 3v3 meta. So top 5 3v3 teams in your mind.
WLD, RMP, Shadowplay, Shadowplay. Double healer. I say that's top tier.
RLP? Oh, you say that? Was that even that good?
I said RLP. Yeah, I think that's top.
RLP.
Yeah, that's the most.
What are the ones you said again? RLD.
No, I said WLD.
Oh, WLD.
Shadowplay.
Yep.
Shadowplay. RLP. I said Shadowplay, didn't I?
RMP.
Yeah, Shatter and Shadow.
RMP. Yeah.
So amongst these teams in threes, you were saying that it's a little bit more balanced. Like there's not as harder counters. Like any one of these teams could win against any one of the other teams a bit more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
It's much more balanced, man. Yeah.
What
For all you Warlock players coming TBC, take a look at all those R's.
Mm-hmm.
Or L's, you put them as.
L's, yeah.
Sorry, L's. Yeah.
So
Pretty
So,
much
for example,
Locks
like-
dominate in threes.
Yeah, like I touched on earlier, with the fact that no racial is so good as Warrior Druid because you don't actually have like a magical dispel. Whereas if you play with a lock, he can dispel offensively with the pet, and he can actually dispel defensively, so he can dispel CC on me. So that's one reason as well why like threes is more balanced, because you add more aspects to the game which you didn't have in 2v2. Like you got more like abilities, more CC, etc., and I think it kind of just balances it out a bit more because the stuff you don't have in twos you get in threes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, 100%. Yeah, there's just more room to outplay people and balance out, more of that rock, paper, scissors feeling. What about this double healer, though? I ran into it a couple times, and it felt almost just too, like, you didn't even get close to killing anybody, man, because I think it was Druid, Disc Priest, Rogue, right? And the Priest was kind of like half a DPS. He was pumping damage, and I don't know. Is that...
It's very strong. Like typically, it's played with a warrior or a hunter, but some people are playing it with a rogue as well, and it's still very strong with a rogue. And like the priest, he's legit. Like he's not even healing. All he's doing is just dispel on top of rogue damage. And if you've got the druid doing CC, like the priest is not even healing half the time. He's legit just dispelling and shielding. Like it's super hard. Like you've got like. You've got like lost them sometimes. Like when you're taking like huge dispels and damage, you just got like get away and just lost, and then just come back again when you're full HP, or they'll break you down super fast, or just out pressure them somehow.
I think it's pretty even across the board. For like opposing teams to double healer warrior, they're all going to struggle in a certain way. A good RMP should always pretty much, just set up correctly and they won't be double.
RMP is the classic, yeah. I think your mic switched back to the webcam one or something for a second. It got a little
Did
quiet.
it?
Oh, there we go.
I think my hand was in the way.
Oh, yeah. That sounds good.
The WLD is really good against double healer as well. Like it's really good.
I was going to ask you with the twos things, too. Like, if based on your personal playstyle, gun to your head, you're competing at the BlizzCon World Championships. Which team are you taking to come party with? I assume for you, Ozzy, it's the Gnome Warrior.
All day, baby. Yeah. I play well in twos. Warrior Druid isn't really like a title winning combo. Like in twos, it's not very not that strong. If I'm honest.
Oh,
There's
really?
a lot. Yeah. It's just really weak, man. To be honest, it's like you don't really get an easy game as Warrior Druid. Like everything pretty much gives you a hard game.
What the hell? That is a hot take right there. So what would you say is the best combo then? In
Best
twos?
combo in twos. It's got to be Rogue Druid, Lock Druid, DPR, which is Disc Rogue, and there's other stuff too, man. But mine's going blank.
Lock
like-
Rogue, maybe?
Lock Rogue's not quite on the tier as like Lock Druid, Rogue Druid, the DPR,
Right.
but yeah, it is up there though. It is one of like the stronger combos. But like this stuff is like more stronger. Like Warrior Druid's got way too many counters to be at the top, really.
Wow.
You got some people asking, I don't know unless you said it and I missed it, the two healers, best choice for that double healer.
Oh yeah, Disc Priest, Resto Druid, usually, or the other healer setup you could use is Holy Pala, Resto. Not quite as good.
And does Fury have a spot at all? Ever?
Fury Warrior, never, ever.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask.
Ever. Yeah, they don't have any kind of healing reduction, right? So
And then Someone
It's
else
just
asked
terrible.
Requiem, what is can you only be sub? Is it pretty much sub only? I know there's a mutilate build, right? Or a Himo build?
If you watch my stream every once in a while, me and Willertons will queue some Shadow Priest mutilate, and it's just a meme. It's
funny though. It's a lot of damage.
Subs, you're only a constant like plays with mobility.
Okay.
The damage of mutilate though is it's more damage as mutilate. Is that the upside?
Mutilate has more burst damage.
They don't have shadow stat.
Yeah, but I mean anything with the slow. I mean, you only have one vanish. You only have one sprint. You don't have cheat death. If someone resists your kidney, it's just like
Yeah.
You know.
What about Whizcleave? What's Whizcleave doing? Priest, Hunter, Druid? Is that what that is?
Seen too much Whizcleave through the endless.
I haven't either.
So I don't really have like an expertise on.
What's Whizcleave?
Was like God Comp, and I mean he did mention Shadow Play and Shadow Play. Those are the only ones I've seen.
That's crazy to me, man. I'm still like in shock that Rogue Druid, the classic like legendary twos combo, actually has a rough time at the highest levels of play.
No, Rogue Druid doesn't.
Oh, I meant Warrior Druid, my man. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Like if you want to get titles in twos or actually get far in twos as Warrior Druid, man, you really gotta go for it because it's super hard.
Super
for
hard.
For sure. Yeah.
Azzy just makes it work.
I try to, man.
And so if you're Warrior Druid versus Rogue Druid, this is such a self-serving question because I'm playing some Rogue Druid. I feel like the Warrior damage is higher and the pressure is higher, no? Than against Rogue.
Kind of, man. But like Rogue Druid, for example, I played like the best Rogue Druid in TBC yesterday.
Yeah.
And like, for example, blind is a 1 minute 30 CD and Trink is 2 minute.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, every time you trinket a blind, you're basically on a timer because as soon as he gets the blind back, you're not gonna have trinket. So what the good Rogue Druids will do, like as soon as you trinket, they won't even want to like kill you. They'll be like, okay, we got trinket now. We just chill. We just play defensive, and then we get our blind back. And then when Warrior has got trinket, we're gonna blow him up. So it's not all about constant pressure. It's more about looking at the enemy CDs, thinking, okay, he's done this. We need to do this, and like, yeah, it's really, really calculated stuff, like stuff like that.
I mean, this may sound super dumb, but like when I'm playing, we're kind of just freestyling, trying to just trade damage effectively, right? When you're in trouble and you're about to die, you trinket, and vice versa. But when you're playing at that top level, it really is very premeditated. When you're setting up a kill, it feels like you're on the same page. Like, okay, we're gonna do nothing for a little bit and wait for the specific cooldown to come back.
This is like the super like end game, like really top players. This is what they do, man, for sure.
Like Rex said, it's scripted when you get up a little bit higher, right?
Yeah.
It's really scripted. It's where you walk in the arena, you see the comp, you know exactly what's going to happen. Not at our level because we're not up there like them, but at their level, it's like you open the doors, they see what it is, they can play out the next minute and a half and wait for someone to fuck up, trade CDs, and then that's it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at early when I was coming to TBC and I was playing with a Druid who played Rogue Druid at a high level, and me and my Lich King gameplay, all he would say to me is, "Rec, just play off the second blind. That's all you have to do. Just play for the second blind. So make sure you have advantage for the second blind, so we can match something up for the second blind, and we win because it's true. You have 30 seconds there of just dedicated time up on someone if you play the second blind."
Is it because if it's blind into sap?
Mm-hmm.
Blind into sap, blind into roots or clone, or
everything.
majority
actually learned so much, dude.
For a blind sap, yeah. And then now after that you have either three entangles, 3 clones, or sometimes both.
Yeah, I'm learning so much, man, because I'm looking back on yesterday. The amount of times we died in that window between Trinket being back up and getting blinded again was so much. It was happening so much. So that's
huge, bro.
Yeah, that's the classic, I guess. You just the second blind, and it's huge. So that's even more reason to just use that blind as early as possible.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what about on the 3 side? If you're going to BlizzCon, you're going to compete in the World Championship, what team are you taking, and what do you think are the strengths? Like, why are you taking it?
WLD, man. All day, man. This is my favorite combo for sure. It's just so good for me. Like, it's just no other combo in 3s, in my opinion, for me, like, which comes close to it. Like,
you beat RMP, is it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think RMP is not even my most hated combo, to be honest. Even though it's like typically the best combo, like through the expansion is not my most hated actually. Like Shadow Play and RLP for me is more harder than RMP.
True, Shadowplay doesn't have a Mortal Strike though. Isn't that kind of weird? Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it doesn't have a healing reduction, right? How does that?
Shadow play is just about burning fast as shit with lust and everything with the shaman. You got to nuke everything. It's just doubled because you were learning the shadow play is a shadow priest affliction lock, not a SL lock. So it's affliction lock, shadow priest, and a shaman. You can run with the resto druid, but it's better with the resto shaman. And you just got to nuke them down before they fucking destroy you. It's really fun and really strong season 1, I believe.
In WLD, are you running as affliction or are you running as SL?
SL. The only time you run affliction is with shadow play or with the shadow priest. 2 shadow play or 3 shadow play. I don't know. It just works better with affliction. I guess more dots for them to have to dispel. I think. I'm not sure about that.
Affliction is just more damage, just more pressure.
And left them all too, bro. It's crazy. You can't dispel because of unstable affliction.
Yeah.
I mean, shadow play and shadow play, they both have. They have slows. They don't have a healing reduction, but they make up for it with just pure damage that can get thrown out. You know, they'll play the middle of the map, and whatever poor melee runs in the middle of the map, they're just trapped there between the frost slows. You know, now they have an unstable on them. They can't get dispelled. If the priest dispels the slow, you'll get the unstable, and he'll just get silenced. And the amount of CC. So, are we talking about shaman, warlock, mage, or
shaman, warlock, shadow priest?
Oh, I thought we were talking
I see.
like MLS or something. Yeah, it's just pure damage, I guess, right?
Now, as the seasons progress, though, the meta can't always be the same, right? Is there any comp that is perhaps the strongest right out of the gate here, season 1?
Yeah. So like, disc priest lock is insane season 1. Rogue mage insane season 1.
What's making it that way, by the way?
What's making it that way?
Res?
Well, yeah, because like in the early seasons, you have very little bonus healing, very little spirit, and very little resilience, and the locks just have like just the dots just eat you alive. Like in season 1, the dots just destroy you, man. They just absolutely destroy you. On top of the priest with offensive spells, you just like it's virtually impossible to just out heal the damage, let alone like do pressure of your own. Like the damage is just so insane. It's ridiculous, man. Like season 1.
It's a smile to my face. Warlock's
he's stuck with Kargoz.
I've been feeling pretty butthurt on the Warlock with everybody double undead DPR, bro, making me want to uninstall. Man,
it sucks.
I swear.
It's like Will the Forsaken. It just breaks your spirit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you don't want to fear, but you still have to fear because a lot of times you're fearing. It's just to give your healer some room. Even that little quick second and a half is
so global they have to use.
Yeah, it's so global they have to use to get out of it. But when a fear doesn't stick, man, it sucks. The worst is when you're casting a fear and they cast a will before you even fear goes off.
That's what I do. Free will.
No, it was you that did it to me the other day, right?
Because I hate getting pulled off.
You can't bait Rec, bro. I'm telling you, Rec's most. When the gates open, I see Rec and that double undead. I just want to exit the arena.
I just want to exit the arena.
I'd rather fight Azzy, to be honest.
A good rogue plays with you, bro. Like they make that one. It's a 1.3 second cast on fear. It's not a long cast, but somehow it feels like forever when you're casted on a rogue. They're just looking at you, and like as soon as it's about to finish, they duck behind a pillar or something, and you're just
he'll step away to do something to whoever, and then you'll think you have room, and then nope, he's right back on you. Like, hey, I'm still here, baby. Just had to go dot someone up.
Yeah.
You bastard, bro. You bastard.
So one thing playing Warlock too, this is a kind of a lock question, is the pet. Yeah, I had the suspicion that at the highest levels of play, how could you possibly keep that pet alive? If you're Requiem and you're queuing up and you see that pet, why don't you just freaking kill the pet in 1 millisecond, blow a coolie,
that's something.
Well, when I have more waves in TBC, you'll see that you don't have a chance.
What's
I'll
that?
just hit it with the ego. I said when I have warplays in TBC, it's just don't even heal your pet. There's not even worth
bonus damage on demon, right? Oh
like bonus 450 attack power or something.
Dead.
Oh yeah.
Dead.
One thing as well though, with the pet, you've got to know when you can keep the pet up, and you got to know when just to let the pet die and just to run away fast and summon a new one. So like, say if the pet's taking big damage, you're like, okay, there's no point even wasting mana on the pet. It's getting absolutely wrecked. Look, just run Africa, just summon a new one. And the druid's like, in the druid, he's hard casting it, and then the druid is literally like charging a target, rooting one, cloning one, bashing one, doing everything he can to let the lot get a new pet. And it's all about just knowing like when to go for a new one and when you can keep it up and stuff.
That's the most annoying thing. You don't see it at lower levels. The people messing up. It took to about like 1900 before you started seeing like melee focus my pet, and then as soon as it was like you know when you're queuing back to back and you're just fighting that same comp over and over again, and they realize your weakness is that pet. Man, it was so bad, dude.
The mechanics changes because in Classic, when you start casting a new pet, your old one disappears, right? So, like, yeah, I had to get used to that. Like, you can kind of start the cast and get a new pet out, or you can resummon something else. You know,
yeah, you can. So you can start like a pregame. You have your Voidwalker. You know, you sack it. You start casting your Fell Hunter at the last second, and then you sack your Voidwalker and run out. Instead of having to do it 10 seconds earlier.
So you don't see the pet as a huge liability, even at your level of play, Ozzy. It's still like a decent threat. Like they can keep it.
Oh, the pet is huge. The pet is huge. Like a lock without pet is GG. Like if I'm against a lock and you get 2 pets, it's GG basically. Near enough GG.
Yeah.
I feel like the game sometimes with Warriors is them just trying to kill my pet.
That's how it feels. Yeah.
From the opening of the gate, they're just like, you know what, fuck this dude and that pet, and then you gotta just really pet management next level. Like I thought my pet management was good until I started having to worry about this kind of pet management because it's different pet management. It's like, do I line of sight it? Do I pull it back? Do I can't set the healer because they're chasing after it? It's like, it's super annoying.
That's one of the biggest things I think that differentiates the top tier warlocks to the average to the lower ones is pet control. Like if say even when I fight warlock druid and I'm playing rogue mage, it's like the worst thing in the world. But like if it's an average warlock, you can actually just run in, you can open on the warlock, pump all your damage into him until your novas are DR'd. You're pumping him, the pet's taking 20% or whatever its damage. The pet's actually slowly dropping, but the warlock's getting pumped, so the druid's just focus healing the druid, right? And then if it's a good mage, like you'll see like rogue mages after the Nova DRs, they're spamming like Arcane Explosion. And the druid's thinking, oh my god, my block's taking so much damage, but actually your pet's now at 20%. You tap target, hit with 1 hemo, it's dead. Now you're like, okay, I have to Fell Dom. You go for a Fell Dom, and I'll put a Mind Numb up or whatever, and both, the mage and the rogue are just sitting there drooling, waiting for you to hit that Fell Dom button.
Yo, it happens to me all the time, right? Yo,
you don't want to talk about Fell Doms.
Always do.
They know our kryptonite, Crix.
I don't want to talk about Fell Doms. Real quick though, I want Leadstar mentioned it a couple times. Shadowplay has Hex of Weaknesses, which is a healing reduction. We said that there was no healing reduction.
Yeah, the troll priest.
Thank you, Leadstar.
What is it? Hex of Weakness?
The troll priest racial, yeah. It's a little mini MS, yeah. It's no cooldown, last 3 minutes to curse.
Thank you, Led.
That's provided that there's a troll in the
racial?
Yeah. Troll racial, yeah.
You won't
there might not be a troll in the Shadowplay though. There might just be like undead torrent or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is right. The one thing I wanted to touch on earlier is the fact that the one combo where you do see troll is actually DP out, because that is like the one combo you do see troll actually in TBC. Like you're kind of crippled against other combos because you don't have Will of Forsaken, but however, like the 20% healing reduction is DP out is huge. It's really big.
What about the troll DPM that you love to fight on endless 2s for a while there?
Oh yeah, but the priest just had insane regen, bro.
Insane regen, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, is there a world where a hunter would have a chance of winning BlizzCon 3v3, or even getting it like super high ranking as a hunter? And what would that comp be? Or is that highly unlikely? A hunter.
What comp would it be?
Yeah. They wouldn't go to BlizzCon, no, but they could get decent rank, but they wouldn't go to BlizzCon, not as a hunter.
Gladiator, though, right?
You're not seeing a hunter at the top.
Well, in threes, Gladiator, like maybe, but you're gonna have a sick hunter and have like a really good teammates. Like it's not an easy thing to do, I don't think.
Can I ask just a really general question too? Like, I want to hear your theory on this. Okay, so oh man, this is actually so juicy. I would pay like $100 for this information. I'm just getting it like right now. Like, so if you're against the best druid in the world, right? As a rogue and a warrior, because this is what they play. Can that druid sustain 3 damage if he's an absolute monster? Like, can you kill him? If, let's say there's an LOS object. Let's say just like at the base of Blade's Edge, there's just a little pillar there. Can you kill him full coolies as a rogue versus full coolies on a druid? Yeah.
I think as a warrior it's harder. I think as a druid I have a little bit more margin for mistakes, but all in all, if a rogue doesn't make a mistake versus a wrestle druid, and the wrestle druid doesn't make a mistake, I mean, eventually that rogue's going to probably kill that wrestle druid.
Take forever, but I think they will.
I see a lot of rogues struggle with it, and I think that I finally kind of got it down. Like you gotta think like kind of 5 steps ahead, and I think multi-classing really helps with that. If I'm on my druid, I'm looking for that rogue's cloak, because after his cloak, I want to Fury Fire him. You know what I mean? And then I want to entangle him, and I know that the only way he's going to get to me and touch me after that is with a cloak. So when I'm on my rogue, I kind of keep in mind, I'm going to open up with a cheap shot kidney on the druid. if he sits it, you know, you kind of have to think right then and there. You have 2 vanishes. You need to use those 2 vanishes around the thought of when he's going to get a Fury Fire up and with your cloak. You don't want to waste your cloak on just getting a Fury Fire off. So I think I've just kind of like try to maximize your uptime on the Druid, but without wasting your cloak for when you actually really need it. And just keeping those 5 wounds up. Like a lot of times you'll see rogues and they'll be hitting a Druid. It's just him and the Druid. And I did this for a while until someone told me. They're like, why do you have a cripple offhand on the Druid? Why do you need to slow that Druid? Because if he's going to get away from you, he's going to get away from you anyways. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. Why don't I just use double wounds on the Druid and just stay on him? I have 2 sprints. I have a vanish. So, you know, you want to, pump out your cheap shot kidney. It's going to drop him down pretty low if he's not fully hotted. And then right out of that, if it's a Druid, he's spamming that Fury Fire button.
Yeah.
So like you want to blow that first vanish pretty quick. You might as well optimize.
Why is it so important that he gets the
Fury
Fire on you though? Because you have the cloak, right? It doesn't really matter. Like I mean.
Yeah, but you don't want to get entangled with Fury Fire on, or else you're out of the game for the next could be 30 seconds.
What do you mean?
So you want to maximize your. What's that?
Can't you just cloak out of that though? If you're entangled with Fury Fire on?
Yeah, but then you're going back to cloaking just for that Fairy Fire, like you said, that you don't want to waste on.
Yeah. It's weird. I'm trying in my head to like describe it, and
no, I know what it means.
I think I have to do it just to show you.
So you cloak the Fairy Fire, and then you're scared of getting rooted afterwards, pretty much. Like yeah,
it's really
different.
different.
You guys can duel right now and show
but
it.
The thing is though, if Rek doesn't use his vanish, and then gets Fairy Fired, then he cloaks vanish, then gets Fairy Fired again. He's got 1 vanish he can't use. If you know what I mean.
You need
so
to
you've got to be really careful. Yeah. Because he's got a vanish there, which is ready, but he just can't use it because of the FF.
Exactly.
And now he hasn't got cloak anymore, so he's kind of like waiting for the cloak CD or a dispel to get the FF off, so he can use his other vanish. Because you get 2 vanishes with the prep.
I see.
But it seems really good, but that's their weakness right there. Because they have to have those.
It's very easy to make it so that Druid can never cast. So, but versus Tauren, if you don't have cloak, if you can't cloak that War Stomp, or if you can't mind numb that War Stomp, like that's it. You're done right there. That's gonna be your trinket. So you have to kind of pick. Are you gonna save your trinket for the Nature's Grasp? Are you gonna save your trinket for the War Stomp clone on you, or War Stomp entangle on you if you don't have cloak? Or you kind of have to pick and choose. You have to see where their health's at. What are they trinketing? When are you going to use your blind? Can you put out enough pressure on him that he kind of forgets to put Fury Fire on you? And it's around 10 seconds, so you can blind him right when your Fury's around 9 seconds or so you can get a re-stealth after that and put him into a stab and re-up on him. There's a lot of thought that actually goes into it that people don't really think about, and high-level druids know exactly what to do, and you really have to think like 5 steps ahead.
I've just tried to stay alive against rogues just to practice and just keep running away from them, and I feel like they always get me, man. I can never just stabilize against the rogue. We have enough, and it seems like with full cooldowns that you're able to kill the druid even through everything, stomp, clone.
I think if you play it right, you should be able to kill the druid. And that's the thing too, is like if you're playing rogue druid versus druid, it's not just your cooldowns you're kind of operating on. There's a lot more that comes into it. I see Azie's about to charge me. I'm gonna switch to my weapon chain, stuff like that. And then my druid sees that he's about to charge me, disarm me, and the druid's gonna get away and get a re, and then they're gonna have an upper advantage on us. The druid now, my druid's like, okay, he's gonna charge you and disarm you. I see that your kidney's about to end. I'm gonna clone out of your kidney, and it's just a 5-second with the weapon chain on. So now he comes out of the clone, I can re-up on him as he's sitting there, in an entangle or whatever, or he's going to use his fear to try and stop the clone or focus pummel him, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. What about as a warrior, though? How do you do versus druids, Azie?
It's very hard, mate. I think the druid usually has the upper hand against the warrior.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of mind games against the druid as a warrior. A lot of mind games, like with the pummels and stuff. And they're always going to try bait your pummel. And yeah, it's not so much. You can't just use CD after CD after CD because we don't really have it. So it's more about mind games and when you're going to pummel. And for example, it's say if I pummel the druid, then I know soon he's going to cast on me again, and I've got pummel CD, so I might run out and intercept him, and then I might even fear, and then I get my pummel back, and there's a lot of stuff which depends on if you can kill him or not. But it's really, really hard, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now, do you result in your reflect being your last pick?
You pretty much depends on rage, yeah. But like, I don't really like to reflect, because as soon as you reflect, like if you're in Berserker and you reflect, you've legit got 0 rage. Then you're going to switch to the two-hander eventually, and you're in combat as it is. And so when you switch weapons in combat, it costs you a global. So when you reflect something, you lose a lot of damage at the same time. So it's got to be really.
Is that a
calculated
TBC mechanic? So when you're out of combat, you don't have the global when you swap weapons. And
Exactly.
You're in combat, it costs a global.
Exactly.
That's in classic, it just costs a global regardless. So that's really nice. So if you're just walking around out of combat, you can swap weapons instantly to something.
Insta. Yeah, you can spam
man.
it and just on and off.
Yo, that's huge, man. That's why rogues have all the different poisons. Makes sense because it doesn't cost them anything. They just instantly.
If you're wondering, when, I don't know, I might have missed it. If you're wondering when the big reason he plays Gnome, Druids is one of the big reasons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Against the Gnome Warrior, I actually have such a hard time getting away from it, man, just because they can't even root them or anything, and then they have the trinket for the clone, and
me and Trey will go up against Horde Warrior Druids, and we're like, okay, we know what to do. And then Trey will see like a Gnome Warrior, and he'll be like, oh, this is gonna be a pain in the ass.
The other thing too is entangling roots is so big to try to get away from the warrior. Sometimes the warrior partner will try to hit it, like the druid, and get the root on him, and then it just feels so hopeless, man.
Yeah, definitely, man.
You probably got some dope spell reflex off, huh? Oh man, I saw you do that blind. What'd you do to blind? Intercepted the blind or something the other day?
Intervene the blind, yeah. I tell you what, do you want to know something I done today though? I don't. It doesn't happen very often, but I actually I spell reflected NS clone on a druid. I just knew he was going to NS clone. I saw the CDs he had. I saw how desperate he was, and I'm like, right, he's going to NS clone. I just pop reflect. And he just NS clone reflects.
That's crazy.
So, what would you recommend, guys, as our kind of like final talking point here before we wrap up? Like, sort of, there's a lot of people that might be watching. They might be super intimidated by the arena, and they should be. It actually is very challenging, but also extremely fun and rewarding. And if you were to recommend them a path forward, like if you were new to the game, you guys are seasoned at this point, how would you approach it? Are you approaching twos first? Do you have a certain comp that like comes to mind that might be a good, that have like a decent skill floor to work on, or if how do they hack through that learning curve as fast as possible?
The best advice I could possibly give to anyone like starting TBC arena, I think pick a combo which you like. But I think the most important thing is pick a partner you enjoy playing with, and a partner who doesn't mind if you make mistakes and is willing to learn, not a partner who gets mad and like just blames you for everything. You need someone who you enjoy playing with, and like all the other stuff will just come naturally, like getting better at the game and stuff, as long as your partner has potential. Like obviously some players have more potential than other players, but I think it's just playing with someone you got synergy with and someone you just really enjoy playing with, and like the rest will kind of come naturally as long as you like really want to learn.
Yeah, I think that's first, and then, just like I said, and right when we started, the knowledge is there. So find a comp, just like as you said, find your partner, and then go research who is the best and who's doing the best at that. Watch their streams, watch their videos, gather as much knowledge as you can, and then just apply those, and just get them down.
Would you play double? I mean, I know. These are extremely wise words, and it makes so much sense. I think that resonates with everybody. Like, one of the things that's a big turnoff for the WoW PvP scene a lot of the times is that, you'll try to queue up games with some random person, you lose one game, and they're telling you to KYS or something, right? And it's just like, well, like, time to go to another game or some shit, But do you think you develop better fundamentals playing double DPS, or does it not matter? Maybe playing just healer or DPS is fine.
I think double DPS is a lot more faster paced comp, and you can't make as many mistakes, and they're not as forgiving as playing with a healer. So I think you should start off, for the most part, with a healer comp. That way you can kind of slow things down, get your mechanics right, get your strats right, see what all these opposing classes and stuff are doing to you. And then once you fine tune it, you're comfortable, you know all your keybinds, and you know what to do and how to react to things. That's when you go to a double DPS comp. Like Rogue Mage is very, very fast. Like games don't last more than a minute usually. Same with a lot of the other double DPS comps. Like you can't make a mistake. Even
Roguelock.
I don't know if Roguelock, for instance. Like you're on a timer.
You can't make a mistake at all.
Yeah, I mean, you're on a timer. You can't reset your health bar. You don't have mage food. You don't have, if you miss a fear, or same thing with like Shadow Priest Rogue. You don't have that many reset opportunities and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, seriously, wise words.
Because Guys, right now there's 2 very viable servers, arena servers to play on right now. That you log in and you're already 70. You're instant 70. Everybody has the exact same gear, and you can practice your heart's desire. There's thousands of people dueling all the time. You find people to play with. It's the best way to do it. If you're trying to get classic, if you're getting bored of classic, or you're trying to segue into TBC, the best people ask all the time, ask me this every day. The best way to prepare for TBC is to get on one of these servers.
100%.
Can I just
Arena
right
servers. You can't do anything but arena and duel.
And right now, go ahead, Nazi.
I think like the thing is though, like if you practice now, instead of when the real thing comes, instead of the learning phase being on the real thing, like classic TBC, if you practice now, a lot of the stuff that you'll struggle on maybe on retail TBC, you would have learned through playing on the tournament servers. So essentially, if you go into classic TBC more prepared, I feel like you probably have more fun as well because you understand the game better. And instead of learning, you're like more playing, like at a competitive level.
You'll have friends to play with, right? If you start now, like having a play group is so huge, like you said, right? So you'll have people to like try new comps with, have all. It's like just develop that sense of community. And I'm really impressed by the TBC community you guys have like helped foster. Like I had no idea it was so tight knit, and just through Crix I've been able to see it. And I think these people are really onto something with these tournament servers, man. I've been talking about it on stream a lot. It takes all the overhead and painful grindiness out of WoW, which can be enjoyed in its own light, just the whole RPG aspect of it. But there's something so much fun about just being able to jump in and experience all the classes with like kind of templated gear, and not have to worry about the scarcity of soul stones and cooldowns back. It is so much fun, guys. Like you're gonna go deep down the rabbit hole if you give it a shot. It's I'm very much there myself right now.
It's fun, man. You just talk to one person. He gives you all the gear. You don't have to worry about what gear you're supposed to wear. Obviously, you can min-max if you get used to it. But Kargoz just started over there recently, and he's loving it. And it's a good learning curve. If you think unless you've already done arena. If you've already done arena and you know what to expect, but if you haven't done arena in millions of years and you think you're gonna go in the TBC and kill it, you're not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say you're not going to. Season 1. It's the practicing, man.
Yeah. Having multiple of the same class too is nice too, so you can play with friends. I'm sure you have that, right, Ozzy? You probably have a couple warriors, right? You probably have a couple rogues.
Exactly. Like on Endless right now, it's flush every day, so you get arena points every day. So I'm playing on like 3 or 4 warriors with like 4 different druids. So it's easy, man. Like it's easy gear and that, and just chill. But as well, one reason I do that as well is I don't want to play too many games in the same team with different druids, because then certain druids wouldn't get capped, because you got to get 30% games played within the team to get points, and at least 10 games. So if I play with like 4 druids in one team, there's a good chance like 3 of them won't get flush or something. So like that's one thing about arena you gotta be careful about.
Well, on that point too, what is the strategy if you're trying to push ratings seriously and get the most points per week? Are you playing the minimum amount of games? I mean, is there a strategy, or do you just win? I mean, is it that simple, or is
what to farm rating? Like, what's the easiest way to like farm high rating?
Like, if you're an amazing player, season, you're just going to be good regardless. You can just queue games and win. But like, if you're struggling, you're on that elo hell, grinding your way up. Are you playing, just enough games to where you feel like you're in a good spot and you just hold, to get points for the week, or?
Nah. At that point, you just want to spam as much games as possible, because practice makes perfect. You just want to spam. Like, even now, like, I feel like I can still, like, there's stuff I can improve on. And I played TBC for a very long time. So, like, I think the best way is just spam games, really, man. With someone who's got an idea of what to do. Like, kind of.
That's the nice thing about the TBC community is even you'll talk to like a lot of the people who have been rank 1, this and that, and they'll literally say to you, I'm still learning. Like, I still learn something like every week,
Oh yeah.
The TBC community is so helpful. I feel like maybe it's just
it's way better than a lot of, like, the classic community
so
is just not great. And coming from a Lich King, player base for years, I have way more Lich King time than TBC. Like, the Lich King community isn't even close to as tight knit as TBC.
We're here to do it together.
Like, one thing I want to mention as well with the TBC meta and how people are still learning, and like the meta is evolving. So like, people use weapon chain now. Like, this wasn't really a thing until like a year ago, or like recently. Like, you see a few warriors use it, but now like everyone's using, like rogues are using it. I even see Pally's using weapon chain. Like the meta is still, in a sense, kind of changing. Like, people are always finding like little things to improve on, like really small, like min-max up.
Real quick, just because people keep asking, the Discord I'm going to link right now is to the Endless Arena server Discord. It's just in the info channel. Scroll down all the way down. Ignore everything you see until you scroll all the way down, and you'll see how to get on the server.
Put the henhouse one in there too, right? I mean,
Yeah, I'll put them both in there.
I would say right now, I'm not trying to advertise for any of them, but one thing I did notice is when that henhouse server released compared to the endless ones, endless seemed a lot more people that have played TBC before, majority wise. Henhouse, like there was thousands of like literally classic players that had no fucking clue what was going on. You could tell just by looking at them when they were in arena. And then and they're walking around, they're all dueling and everything else. Like Henhouse has a huge, and NA wise too. Henhouse had a huge NA population. Like 2 a.m. I've never seen so many people on at 2 a.m. on NA times on these EU based servers for years now.
Yeah, I was getting
there's a lot of new players coming in, and they're all getting ready, and they're getting TBC hyped.
I was getting those NOS chills, man, kind of thing where it's like it feels like this like red hot underground server. People are coming there learning. Like you're part of this kind of, I don't know. Some people out there are gonna know what I feel like. It was very exciting, still is, but now it's a little bit more dead now. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's split, but
yeah, it's because of the endless, man. A lot of the good players will play on endless now, I think, and I think most of the good people will be on endless, and there'll be more of I'd say more like casual players on henhouse probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to henhouse.
Yeah,
it's where I can shine. It's funny though, because like the NA population was mostly on henhouse, and like the EU will stick to endless majority. Like a lot of the NA players that have been playing for a while will definitely play both. It feels like, but there was a huge NA base on henhouse.
Well, here's another thing. I don't know if this could have no legs at all, but I don't know if you've seen it all. What we've done with like hardcore. Wow, it's like basically a community game mode, and I do think it's kind of like a turning point where a precedent or whatever you want to call it, where the community can pull it off if they want to create and define their own meta with an interesting rule set. Like you can do that and make it exciting and get people to like buy into it, and we have the tools with streaming and recording to pull it off. So where I'm going with this is, with Arena and TBC, it'd be kind of cool to have a community like league, like a star league or something like that, with prize pools, sponsors, and maybe you could shift the meta with unique challenges for seasons. Maybe you couldn't do this or do that, and it could be interesting. I'd like to see the potential of TBC as far as an esport or whatever you want to call it for the real thing.
Yeah,
right?
Like CDL, like Tips Out used to do and stuff. I reckon it could be like some TBC tournaments on the way. Like that's the one reason which I would take an NA Warrior. That's like the one reason I would like an NA Warrior is just to do the tournaments.
I think you're gonna see a lot of those. They're gonna go crazy. Not only that, you're missing the big things. Like I haven't seen an MLG tournament for WoW in a while. Regarding I also don't really follow retail that much. But, you'll see like MLG and stuff come back, I think, with TBC. And if they progress in the Lich King Arena, I think you'll see like the Arena Junkies and all that big stuff could possibly come back. I hope it does.
Yeah, we can do that, though.
Absolutely. That's when the WoW community was 100% at its prime.
Yep, elitist jerks and stuff. You remember only gladiators or something could post in there? Or so there was some kind of rule where you couldn't post unless you were 24 rating or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not only that, I mean, you're actually already kind of getting a preview of it. The people that have held on to the TBC and Lich King Passions, you got to give it to them, because a lot of them have kind of held on, or some of them are coming back. Like, back when I played TBC, I remembered, the World of Ming blogs, the rogue.com with the cryos, things like that. Like things that like people who did on their absolute free time that had such a passion for the game, had all these websites and spent their own money, their time, their coding and all that. And you're actually seeing a glimpse of that already come back. And TBC actually hasn't even been officially announced yet.
True, yeah.
True. Like, Silent Shadows is going to be kind of a form of, the new Rogue or World of Ming, where they're going to have blogs and, interviews and stuff like that. I know Kargoz, you're doing a lot with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I mostly, I don't have a ton of time, so if I'm missing anyone, please let me know. But, you see all that passion. It's coming back, or it never left, and people have just been waiting eagerly for this stuff.
Before the excitement, too. Everyone here is going to be like the day zero folks that are interested in TBC before it even is announced, But I've said too, again, and I'm beating a dead horse here, maybe preaching to the choir or whatever. But I do think TBC provides a balance between retail WoW. If you look at Shadowlands and some of the modern amenities, look, feel, color palette, stylistically, the art, all that, and then also the classic world, right? So there's a chance that it just brings a whole bunch of people from both sides of the fence together for TBC, and it could be awesome.
I'm glad you said this, God of War in chat, because I was gonna wait till they were done talking. He said, if they do TBC BlizzCon, do you think the winners would be OGs like Vinruki and C doing them, or is it gonna be these private server boys? And I think it's gonna be these motherfucking private server boys, man. I think I'm not gonna say they're shit because they're really good, but season 1 and 2 is gonna be owned by the private server guys. And then as they get their bearings, season 4, those guys will, but I don't think,
the finals are going to be ReqTBC versus Aziegodx, man. We'll see.
No.
Aziegodx has been doing this for 10,000 years. They haven't. That's the bottom line. They know the mechanics more a little, you know what I mean?
I'm sure Azzy's drooling at like that comment, just waiting to answer, like same as me. It's just like that question there is just like, it's like politics.
You can't wait.
Like, I can't even like just get into it because it's just a huge war. And it's just kind of be like, you know what? Might as well just stay back, stay humble, and see what happens. You never know.
Yeah. To be fair, I do think the private server players will have the edge. But having said that, though, there are a few retail players which I do feel like who will shine, like the Vinruki and your Snuts, and like I think these kind of players, like they will like understand the concept eventually because they invest so much time in the game, and like they're genuinely good players, even if they don't play TBC. Like, if you're genuinely a good player, like a really good player, you can like understand stuff really fast, and like you adapt super fast. So there are a few retail players who will be good for sure, but like I do think it will be like private server dominated.
You gotta think too is that Vinruki and Sea and all those guys, right? A lot of them still hold Vengeful Glad and Brutal Glad on their retail characters to this day, and they got sponsored. They've been MLG and BlizzCon champions and this and that throughout the course of time. And they've had to stick with retail because that's also a part of their revenue. So they can't go and stream with 5,000 to 50,000 viewers playing TBC. It just doesn't work for them. I'm sure they're over there waiting for it to come back as well. I'm sure they missed that era of the game and this and that, and they'll probably do well in it again. But I was in Showbeck's stream earlier, and someone made a comment just like that, and I literally said to him, and I'm not saying like this is going to be the same thing that happens to everyone, but like. I did well through pretty much TBC and Lich King on retail up until MOP. And then MOP, I said, WoD released, the first season of WoD released, and I said, this game is just, the PvP is just dead to me. And I went back to Lich King, and I think it was Warmane or Molten at the time. It was the first private server I went on. It was an arena tournament server for Lich King. And I'm like, I'm a relentless gladiator. Like, I'm going to smoke all these people. I still know how to play. I logged on. It took me absolutely months of getting destroyed before I even had like a grasp of knowledge of how I used to play. Like, it takes a while. And like, still, like, I learn every single day. I'm not even close to compare to a lot of these top tier guys. And I've been playing now for about a year back on TBC.
Damn. Got a ways to go, Crix. We got to catch up, bro.
Oh, bro.
Sponge mode.
I don't want to talk about it.
Like you said, the knowledge is out there, so it's just...
We got it, bro. That's what we're trying to do. Our goal is to just bring this knowledge to everybody, man, because no one else is going to do it, and if anybody else is going to do it, we're going to do it a little bit better, because look who we have. So you can expect a whole shit ton of PvP for every class, everything we're going to do. We're going to do a PvP part series of the episodes of the podcast. This is just the first part. We got many more PvP to do. Class dives, man, everything.
Absolutely.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, we should start rapping too. Ozzy's probably falling asleep at this point. It's probably like 6 a.m. or something over there. But folks, if you could type something in the chat if you're alive, if any of you are still awake. If you could do Crix and myself a huge favor here, and just go ahead and follow these guys on their platforms. Just make it worth their time for being here and sharing this information with us. Here is Req's channel. Ozzy's channel in there. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Right, you can call me AZ if you want.
AZ.
I know the Americans like calling me AZ. You call me Azzy, AZ, whichever.
I thought it was Azzy.
Pretty much he's telling you not to. Probably saying Aussie.
No, it is Azzy, but some Americans call me AZ, and then like the Europeans call me Azzy. But like whatever's good, I don't mind either actually.
Hell yeah.
Bro, and both these guys stream frequently. It feels like every day, all day, I can look up and find these guys streaming strictly arena.
Yeah. Bro, and the VODs are always there too. So if you miss a stream, you can go to the VODs and check them out.
And you can say you followed them. You can say you followed them before TBC came out, when the explosion of growth happens, man. So you can. Now's the time.
Hope so.
Strike.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I checked my channel analytics, and I think I've been streaming 11 days in a row. I think it's something crazy like that.
Really?
It's been pumping. Yeah, 11 days in a row, man. It's crazy.
Go to your stream analytics. I'm curious what your hours are.
Well, this week, man, it's been hard because I've been streaming Henhouse. Like, I've been going in. Let me see.
I have to work. Unfortunately, I have a full-time fucking job, but I'm at 209 hours and 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, 91 apparently.
That might be for the month. I don't know. Whenever that.
Yeah, that's for the month. I don't know how to see the week.
Well, we're gonna call it here, folks. That's the episode. Hope you guys learned something. I sure did. Any final words for the people, Rek, Ozzy? Anything that if you want to shout anything out or anything?
Just thanks for having me, man. It was actually I enjoyed it more than I actually thought I did. It was actually genuinely fun chatting with you boys. Like, it's just so chill. You guys are cool in that, and if you want to do something in the future, then I'm down, man. Like, it's good.
Oh, hell yeah,
man.
Thanks.
Warrior deep dive, baby.
Yeah, baby. Let's go. Let's have it.
Hey, we'll do a little bit earlier for you next time too, bro. So you're not gonna be all tired. And shit.
Oh, yeah.
5 o'clock in the morning your time, bro. Thank you.
sure.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank
Nah, I
you
got you, Chris. I
for
got
having me.
Yeah, a lot of you guys. It's hard to get the big brain PvP guys in here because it's not that they don't want to. They're just like they're EU, and it's like, do I really want to sit there and talk about it? But thank you guys a lot for actually doing this, man. I know you guys had better shit to do.
I mean, Rek, I
That's
thought he
good,
was
man.
going to be EU or something too. He turns out to be from Boston, and he's over here,
Yeah, dude.
working.
I left work early for this, man. I
Fucking
gotta,
Montana.
gotta keep this hype going for TBC.
Hey, and he never shows his face. It's only the second time I've seen his face. He doesn't usually have a camera on when he streams.
Yo,
You gotta redeem those channel points, man. You gotta earn it.
yo.
Fair enough.
I'm saving
All
up,
right.
baby.
15K.
Anything you want to say, Crix? You want to shout out your?
No.
You be streaming? You
Oh,
want
I'm
to
good, man. I already linked it. I just wait till you're done, then I link mine afterwards. It's already linked. You guys know where to find me.
Are any of you guys
Click
streaming?
my
after
name,
this?
baby.
Can host? Or no, I assume Ozzy's sleeping. Rek, you're not streaming, are you?
No, I just got off work. I'm gonna
Okay.
probably passed out here in a minute.
Alrighty.
I mean, I guess unless Azzy's gonna go sleep, maybe we can keep some Warrior Druid.
Cool. Mate, it's way too late, bro. I'm sorry about that. It's so late.
5 a.m. over there.
Man, so they're gonna wake up for work soon, and they're gonna be like, "What are you doing, man?" Like, I got a pizza, bro.
Look at Gucci just woke up. So just take a little
There you
nap
go.
like him.
Is he just woken up?
Yeah, he's in the Twitch.
Jeez.
Gotcha. Well, we'll see you next time, folks. Take care. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next Dark Portal
Peace.
episode real soon. We're going to try to do 2 a week. Take it easy, everybody. We're going to pass you off to Bobka. Wow, he might be doing some Endless later, some Henhouse later. He's a big PvPer, so it's kind of in that line. Take it easy.
What's up,
Peace.
Bob?